All right, and we are live here on YouTube for the Toyota Save Mart 350. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. We are getting ready and locked in for this race. They are currently doing the national anthem. And yeah, we will be here with the start when it happens. So we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time, though. Oh, man. It has been a long week. I know I didn't get a couple of things done that I normally try to, with namely the stream on Friday. I fully admit I just straight up fell asleep when I got home from work, and when I woke up, the racing had already started, and I was still here, so I wasn't able to be a part of that, unfortunately. We will be up there, though, next weekend for the sprint car weekend at the local dirt track. We got the SCO and Sprint Cars of New England. That is a can't-miss race, so if you guys are in the area, I would absolutely recommend you guys check it out at Unity Raceway. Not sponsored or anything, but it is an amazing time. Went to both of their races last year, and I think you guys should absolutely check them out as well, so... but yeah, so we got that. We got then the Xfinity Series race. I was going to stream either that or the IndyCar race yesterday, but a coworker invited me out to his 21st birthday. So we went out to hit the bar, and we watched the race and we watched the races and the Red Sox game from there. So yep. It was a busy week, but we are here. We are ready for the NASCAR Cup Series race. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go, there we go. But yeah, we are just checking everything, making sure everything is all set up. Again, thank you guys for everybody that has been a part of this. Again, we've been growing like crazy on both this channel and even the gaming channel has been taking off a little bit the last week or so. So if you guys don't know, I do have a gaming channel. Link is in the description for that. So if you guys like video games or card games, I recommend you check that out. I've been starting to try and open packs of Pokemon cards over there more frequently to help fill out the short side of things. And I've been intending for like 3 weeks now to get some more Mario Kart World gameplay in addition to returning to Pokemon gameplay, but clearly I've been a little bit slacking on a lot of fronts, so hopefully we should be back to that, back to some semblance of normalcy here shortly, but at the very least we got NASCAR Cup Series racing here on Sunday, so... yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, we are up to 3,112 subscribers now. Thank you guys again for everybody that's been a part of this. It's been an amazing rise, especially this last like month or so, where we're up a ton of subscribers. Again, you guys have been just enjoying a lot of the content, and I thank you guys, each and every one of you, whether this is the first time you've tuned in or if you guys have been here for a while. But yeah, so getting into this race, though, looking at the starting leaderboard, because unfortunately, with it being a road course this weekend, I don't really see a whole lot of movement up and down the grid this weekend. I mean, obviously, I think everybody's number one favorite for the race is, within reason, SVG. Now, he wasn't able to win yesterday's Xfinity Series race over Connor Zilic, but he was right there, and if he had a shred less respect for Connor Zilic, he probably could have punted him and moved him out the way. But I will say I do have respect for SVG for racing him clean, and ultimately it came up short. But then you've got some of your other guys, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Allmendinger, some of your kind of usual faces on the road courses starting up here near the front. Then you got guys like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, who aren't specifically road course guys, although I think they're both well above average at road courses. Zane Smith isn't starting too far back from Ty Gibbs. He's only starting 6 spots behind Ty Gibbs, as they will be battling out in the head-to-head. Then we got Elliott, Busher. I mean, honestly, the top 15 are all elite road course racers. So then you got Elliott starting 13th, 14th Busher, 15th is going to be my boy Michael McDowell. Gotta show the love to the Michael McDowell, especially when after he lost a car last week in one of the most unbelievable fashions I've ever seen. I mean, just a car breaking down on him while leading. Both unbelievable and totally believable at the exact same time. Then, after we outside the top 15, you start to see some of the guys who aren't necessarily known for their road course racing, but you still know are good. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. Yeah, Ryan Preece, ironically, has been getting much better at the road courses. Suarez, I still believe Suarez is good. Obviously, he's getting replaced next year for Connor Zilic, almost certainly. And that just comes down to the fact that I think Zilic has more upside. I think we know what Suarez is. I think he's still definitely a driver who should have a seat as one of the 36 fastest stock car drivers on the planet. Don't know where that would end up as one of the 36 best, but I think he should have a ride in Cup somewhere next year. Yeah, but rolling off from, I believe, what was that, 19th? Yeah, rolling off from 19th will be a little bit tough. Then you got other guys like Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano starting 21st and 22nd. You've even got Austin Cindric, a guy who is somewhat known for road course racing, starting all the way back in 24th. Ty Dillon's been a fairly decent road racer in his time. So, yeah, it is really it's an interesting field here as we're getting ready for the start to this one. Welcome on in. Hey, Caitlin, how's it going? And wow, we got 11 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for this. Decided to spend a portion of your very valuable afternoon here. Go. Alright. Yeah, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, all three career wins for AJ Allmendinger have come on a road course. I would love to see him win a non-road course. I mean, if he could get a win at a short track or super speedway, a super speedway would still leave some of the conversation, but if he could win like a mile and a half, I think Allmendinger would be insane. All right, 88, let's go, and 8, let's go. Okay, cheering on Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Busch, or was that meant to be an 88 as well? So there we go. But yeah, it's a SVG though from the top of the spot. From the top spot though, is going to be really tough to beat. Again, we saw Mike McDowell be able to jump out ahead of him early on in last week's race, but the odds of being able to pull that one off again is going to be tough. So there we go. Again, we went through most of our kind of key starters here. I am curious to see if Chase Briscoe, can get ahead of SVG, could he maybe hold him off for a minute or two? But again, as of right now, we've yet to see SVG actually. You happy? Well, I would be a lot happier if Mike McDowell was starting on the pole position instead of SVG. Not that I dislike SVG, and that's something I feel like I need to get across here because I've seen it quite a bit on social media. One, I get it. NASCAR is absolutely overposting about SVG, especially this last week and a half where he's been dominating Chicago and then going into another track that he could probably dominate too. But he's also one of the most exciting things about NASCAR road racing in a decent chunk, and it certainly isn't it's never on the driver. When there is a lackluster race, the hate or even the complaints should be geared towards the racing series and like, hey, let's see how to make this product better, rather than complaining about the driver doing a really good job at holding off a hungry crowd of contenders. So, because I've seen a lot of people, in some cases, straight up hating and being completely absurd about the whole SVG situation. Haven't seen anything straight up racist, although I'm not sure I would know off the top of my head what would be considered racist to an Australian, but regardless, yeah, I certainly hope that NASCAR fans will start to realize that we are seeing greatness, the same kind of greatness that we've seen with guys like Jimmy Johnson on the intermediate ovals for the last in the last 20 years now. Again, SVG, sure, you can complain about the win in your in format, but SVG's just doing his job. There we go. Alright, yeah, we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. As we are getting ready for a fun Sunday here. Hey, Red Zone, how's it going? Alright, so there we go. Literally, it was 2 days ago, and I literally just slept right through it. When I got home from work, I just fell right asleep and didn't wake up till like 7:30, and the racing would have already started by that point. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're at commercial break. We're not, so you're not missing anything here. Well, they've got the Bristol baseball stadium set up, which is just absurd. I mean, it doesn't even really look. I mean, it looks okay, but yeah, I mean, I think I would like it almost better if it was just angled straight into the corner versus being angled the way it is. I mean, yeah, that might make it tricky with some of the banking on the straightaways, I guess, would may be the thing that they're having to do with that, but yep. Yeah, we'll be back at the dirt track though this week. Getting ready for this one is it'll be sprint car weekend. The sprint cars coming up for July 25th. The Toyota Save Mart 350. Again, we're running the classic Sonoma, not the no inner loop today, so or no carousel. I mean, so we should have a nice, exciting 110 laps here ahead of us. 25 laps in stage 1. Looks like 30 laps in stage 2, and then the final 55 laps to the checkers. So should be good. Hopefully, you guys are excited. Let's see. Again, we are getting ready for this one. We got 16 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys again for all 16 of you guys who came in here. And feel free to let me know who you guys think is going to win this race. Do you think it's going to be SVG? Do you think we're going to see a new winner? Yeah. Or what? But yeah, we've got ourselves a very full one, and they're showing some highlights from yesterday's Xfinity Series race as SVG. Oh, and there's Mike McDowell slipping. Is that why he didn't qualify well, or is that something unrelated to his qualification attempt? Because yeah, qualifying did not go well for Michael McDowell this week, unfortunately. So he's going to be starting from the 15th position. Not a day ender, but certainly does not help the performance when you're having to start from behind like that. Alright, there we go. Got the layout all fixed, and we are again. They're pacing on track here, ready to go racing. And say only one additional car this weekend. Not Todd Gillen. Only one non-chartered entry, and that is Catherine Legg in the 78. And it sounds like effective starting next weekend for Dover is when the 2311 and Front Row Motorsports cars become open cars. So if we see an increased field for, say, Dover or Indianapolis in the coming weeks, we could very well see ourselves in a situation where we have another bumping situation where potentially a Bubba Wallace or a Tyler Reddick could get bumped. Although I think it's much more likely that it's a Riley Herbst or Noah Gragson going home, especially at Noble, but it is not out the realm of possibility that it could be Tyler Reddick or Bubba. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. They're coming back for commercial break, and we should be getting ready to see the green flag here in a minute, as the cars have already rolled out onto the track. I don't know if they've done their their pass through on pit road to check pit road speeds yet. That will be something that will have to be done before we get going, obviously. Yep, so here we go. They're doing the pass through on pit road here, and again, we got ourselves a very stacked field here. SVG out in front of the field, going to be really tough to beat. Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs, is that row 3? Could we see Ty Gibbs pick up his first win after a runner-up finish last week? Could we see Alex Bowman advance to the next round of the in-season tournament, advance to the Final Four with a win today? Although all he would have to do is actually outrun Ty Dillon, but hey, you never say a win would be beating Ty Dillon along with everybody else. So but yeah, we should be getting ready for this one. Let's see. Alright, but yeah, we are rolling here. Mike McDowell in the Gamebridge colors today. The yellow, black, and blue. So that is going to be the color. Those are going to be the colors we're going to be cheering on today, as I am definitely rooting for Mike McDowell to get his first win of the season, lock himself into the playoffs, and very well could be his only real shot to get a win here. I mean, we got this and Watkins Glen left for for regular season road courses, and yeah, I wouldn't say either one of them are gimmies, but let's go 71. Ryan Preece, he'd been looking pretty good the last two road courses, but qualified back in road number 10 today. So he'll have quite a ways to climb if he wants to be a contender today, and then back in row 12, you got Carson Hocevar, another driver who's looked pretty good at some of the road races, but is coming from very deep in the field. Ty Dillon, the furthest back, I believe, of any of our remaining in-season challenge drivers, who will have to try and come from the back if he wants to contend. And here we go, green flag is out. We are racing here in wine country, Sonoma, California. Green flag is out. And let's see, SVG away with the lead, able to clear through turns 1 and 2 here. And a bit of a stack up as people going off course, and it looks like getting the worst of it is Eric Jones. Eric Jones starting off the day. Really rough here. Actually, Eric Jones was the worst finisher of our 4 remaining in-season challenge drivers here. As we got ourselves a battle going on track here. 3 wide through turn number 9. Or, sorry, is that turn 9? No, that's definitely not turn 9. I know the hairpin turn is turn 11. So is that turn 7? Turn 7, 8, 9. No, that would be way off too, I'm pretty sure. No, that might be it. 10. Here we go. Down through turns 10, heading back towards turn 11, with the loop. And let's see. Complete lap 1 here. As I say, is SVG, I assume he'll hold on for this first lap lead. But Briscoe has stayed very close to him, unlike yesterday when no one could really stay close to him and Connor Zilich all afternoon. And the two of them end up finishing, I believe it was, 30 seconds ahead? Or 13 seconds ahead, I mean. Yeah, so it was 13.2 seconds between second place finisher, between the second place finisher and the third place finisher. So there's a long way back there, and we got contact there. Bubba Wallace versus Carson Hocevar. The two of them making a little bit of contact here. Hocevar looking to the outside of 3 wide here as he's trying to continue to make this one happen. While Noah Gregson, the third car involved there, he manages to hang on as well. So Hocevar gets the worst of that 3 wide situation. And yeah, right now that's a lot of that was actually predicated off of the Borg actually getting into the back bumper of the 77. So let's see again, the upper lane, not exactly where you want to be on the big oval or not big oval, but the big hairpin corner there at Sonoma. You really don't want to be on the outside of that corner. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Speaking of someone who's not having a good time, Bubba Wallace, 3 straight finishes outside the top 20. I mean, that is certainly not going in the right direction, and I'm going to say it's a large reason as to why I believe he's currently being shown as outside the cut line here for the playoffs. Alright, well, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, SVG pacing the field out in front. Byron up to second here, but Byron falling almost a full second behind SVG here as he continues to try and just break away with the smoothness. And I say Byron, another driver having a really rough month of June into July here. I mean, he has 1 top 10 finish in the last several races, and that 1 top 10 is the only reason I believe he is still your points leader. Let's see, is he still the points leader? Because yeah, he's the points leader by 13 points. Without that top 10, he's well outside the range for that. There we go. 3-3-3-3. Not sure what you're talking about with all the 3s here. Are you talking about the 3 car of Austin Dillon? Because I have not seen anything happen there yet. And there's no 33 car on track, so. But yeah, there we go. Ross Chastain making his way past Briscoe. So Briscoe slowly sliding his way further back while Byron and Chastain continue to try and chase Van Gisbergen here. All right, let's see. Again, right now we got SVG Byron out in front. Chastain sliding even further back behind Byron though than you would ideally want if you're the driver of the one car. I mean, obviously you want to be close enough to press the attack, but right now I don't even think you're applying much pressure to Byron. He's feeling more pressure by watching SVG leave him. Yeah, leaving him out the front bumper here. As here we go. The 16 of AJ Allmendinger is starting to press some attack onto the 19 of Briscoe. And I'd say this battle is going to be getting more intense as Allmendinger knows he's got to make some moves early. Although the flipping the strategy at the end of the stage can work, you still got to be able to pass cars on track, especially the 88. Because the 88, it would be hard to see him. All right, so again, 6 laps in here, working our way through this one. Let's see. Watching on TSN and the picture quality is hurting your eyes. Well, I don't know if that's a typo for TNT, but I'm watching on TNT Sports for at least the USA. That's where the race is, and you've got the race on traditional cable, which is I say at least for me, it's not hurting my eyes. The picture quality, I mean, it's certainly not perfect, but solid. And if TSN, oh yeah, I was about to say, or if you're talking about TSN, the Canada channel, I can't attest to that because I live south of the border ever so slightly here. Okay, NASCAR, you really kind of have to figure out something a little bit better to do with the graphics than that. You don't put a checkered flag up with 104 laps to go for the side-by-side commercial. You don't do that. Alright, so there we go. Again, 103 laps to go. They had a checkered. They've switched over to a green flag, but I don't know why they had the checkered flag up there in the first place. Someone must have just forgotten to hide away that filter layer. But yeah, that was definitely funny. But hopefully, that's the only hiccup. If that's the only hiccup we get from NASCAR today, great job, NASCAR. But something tells me we won't be that lucky to have that be the only screw up of the day. Might be the biggest screw up of the day, which would also still be good. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Getting back from the side-by-side commercial here. AJ Allmendinger still on the back bumper of the 19. The 19 has caught the back bumper. It looks like the 1 might be the slow car here. 9 laps in here. Working their way through this one. They're going through the things that you kind of need to know here with the track. But as of right now, it looks like the only person who needs to know much of anything is SVG because he is storming away. He currently has a 1.5 second lead as he is trying to crawl away from Byron here as fast as humanly possible. He's led all 9 laps on the day. So far as they're working lap number 10. I'd say Ty Gibbs with a pretty big fall here to start this one. Blaney Bell both passing him. Ty Gibbs has stabilized in 8th place for the minute, while Zane Smith is not all that far behind him to battle out for the position. And I believe those two are actually fighting it out in the regular season or on the in-season tournament here today. So, bit of a battle going on there. Can't wait to see how it ends up going throughout the day. Of course, we'll have to keep an eye on the progress throughout this one. But yeah, SVG and Byron, neither one of them has a whole lot of pressure on them specifically. So, and yep, there we go. The battle for the playoff cut line points as they run. It is Bubba Wallace 2 points above Ryan Preece for the final transfer spot. And again, right now they are hanging on for dear life here. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, they're working their way through this one pretty well here. It's just, we've gotten 10 laps completed here. SVG still holding a over 1 second lead. And again, really, it's everybody third on back that's just dropped so far back. Let's see, has Mike McDowell made any ground up here? Let's see. Alright, so again, right now we're working our way through this one. Let's see. Yeah, right now 88 is the 88 of SVG is crushing the field. Briscoe versus Chastain is actually turning into a pretty interesting battle. As here we go, Briscoe gets beside him and he's gonna pass him and clear him for the position. Originally, I thought that it looked like Briscoe was the one slowing everybody up, but it seems like as the tires have aged, the momentum has kind of swung back towards Briscoe here. And if 12 laps of age is enough to swing that momentum, I think he's got a very good long run car here. Here comes Christopher Bell challenging AJ Allmendinger for the spot, and not able to get it. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, right now these drivers, the two guys out in front look like they're on cruise control, while the rest of them are all just fighting it out for third. Although it looks like Briscoe's firmly clinched the third spot, so. yeah, again, right now, William Byron, though, he is the only driver with a shot to try and hold off and challenge SVG for this one. I'm curious if SVG stays out to try and get the stage point or pits for the track position. Alright, there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, so we got 14 laps complete. We got about 10 laps to go in stage number 1. William Byron, again, he looks like he's on cruise control in second place. He's managed to gap the battle for second by a decent chunk, as Briscoe has actually gotten fully clear of the battle for second, for the battle for third. So it's now Christopher Bell, who, there we go, Christopher Bell passes Ross Chastain to take this one, and here comes Blaney on the way through. An absolute freight train towards the front. Bell and Blaney making their way up into fourth and fifth here. But yeah, Byron's looked like he's on cruise control. Problem is, his cruise control is just about 0.3 of a lap slower than SVG. So, yeah, I mean, he's looked stable. He's looked very competent. It's just a matter of the fact that there's one driver on track that's been running better. Oh, yeah, we are just chilling here. Again, we are 10 laps from the end of the stage. Again, reminder that with the way that NASCAR handles these road courses, again, with the guaranteed cautions, we will expect to see most of the field pit with about 4, maybe 3 laps to go. And then with 2 laps to go, we'll see like maybe the top 5 to 10 consider making pit stops, depending on where they'll come out in the running order. A technique otherwise known as flipping the stage. You know, where they'll come in and get their pit stop over with, their fuel and tires, to then be able to stay out at the stage caution. There we go. Alright, yeah, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, we've got ourselves no worries. I always love being able, when I know who you guys want to follow, it helps make it a lot easier for me to help keep you guys updated on some of your favorite drivers down the grid. Chase Elliott just jumped up into the top 10. My guy, Mike McDowell, let's go! Up to 12th. We've made some progress. And considering recent events, some progress, I'm going to have to accept that. Zane Smith dropping back a little bit, so the battle between him and Gibbs for the in-season tournament is starting to look a little bit easier to predict. There is now officially 7 drivers between them. Reddick, Elliott, Larson, McDowell, Bowman, Busher, Priest, and then Zane Smith. So, yeah, Ty Gibbs in 8th, Zane Smith all the way back in 16th as of right now. So, looks like at least early on, it looks like Gibbs may be the projected winner there, which I think was basically the consensus. And Red Sox win. Let's go! Boston Red Sox win 10 straight games to close out a 10-game win streak. Let's go. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm not from Boston. I'm from the New England area, though, and Red Sox are absolutely my baseball team. And there we go, a 10-game win streak heading into the All-Star break. I hope that the All-Star break doesn't ruin our momentum. But yeah, 10 straight wins for the Red Sox. I will not complain about that. Let's go. But yeah, man, it's a fun time to be a Red Sox fan watching these last 10 games. 10 straight wins. Yankees have been struggling. We might actually get the chance to pass them in the next couple of weeks, when we get back from the All-Star break. So there we go. But yeah, I'm excited there. And now we're coming back from back from the full screen commercial breaks. We are chilling. And here we go. SVG just storming around this place. Just a complete domination show here from Shane Van Gisbergen. Now a 3.5 to 4 second lead over William Byron. Again, he has been the storyline for this reason. Shane Van Gisbergen is driving the wheels off of this thing on a level that has not been seen before by almost any drivers. I mean, even name some of the road course specialists who have come over here from other series. Juan Pablo Montoya, one of the greatest Formula and open wheel road course racing drivers on the planet, came over and took him a while to get some stability, and took him quite a bit to learn these road courses. Shane Van Gisbergen not only won in his debut race, but he has now won 3 road course races in the Cup Series, and could very well be looking at race win number 4 today if he can keep the wheels under him here. As he stays on track here, I thought it looked like he might have been diving for pit road. It would have been early because we still have 8 laps to go before the stage ends. So I think we've got about 4 laps away from when we see everybody, 3 to 4 laps until we see everybody starting to duck into the pit road. So Chase Elliott leads all active drivers with 7 road course wins, but he hasn't won in 22 road course races. So Chase Elliott hoping to change that storyline a little bit. Following this weekend's race. Mike McDowell, though, hanging on to 11th here. He's nearly 20 seconds back in the lead, but it's something, and that's pretty good. I will take something over nothing. Not quite finishing the story like I'd been talking about as the Mike McDowell storyline for this weekend. I mean, he absolutely was in a position to have a race-winning car last week before the car just fell apart on him. Yeah, so again, right now we got ourselves. Kyle Busch has drifted all the way back to 13th position. Eric Jones is still not really found his footing after that off-track incident earlier, where he ended up off course for a moment or two. So looks like Nemechek is in solid position to win that head-to-head battle. Let's take a look at some of the other 2 head-to-head battles. So we talked about 2 of them. All right, so in-season challenge. We got really the only one that's even remotely close right now is Reddick and Ryan Preece, and that's still a 6-second gap between the 2. Reddick in 9th and Preece back in the 9th position. So there we go. Alright, so here we go again. SVG out in front of the field, now by almost 5 full seconds over William Byron. He is absolutely storming through this one. But yeah, so it does look like it will be potentially, and if everything, let's just say hypothetically, if the race ended right now, it would be Alex Bowman versus John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Gibbs versus Tyler Reddick. Yeah, at the whatchamacallit, the at Dover next weekend for the second to last race of the in-season challenge for the final 4. So let's see. Here we go. But yeah, we got Keselowski out here running this one around. Keselowski's actually been climbing quite a bit here. Oh, here comes Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric, 5 laps to go in the stage, becomes the first one to hit the pit road. First driver to hit pit road for this stage, and it is Austin Cindric. Again, most of the drivers I would expect to come in either this time by or next, with 4 or 3 laps to go potentially. But here we go. Austin Cindric pits this time by. So again, we're gonna have to be curious to see. Again, I'm not sure who all is planning to pit or not here. Obviously I haven't been listening into the broadcast because I can't watch it without the sound. But again, right now we're just kind of waiting to see. But yeah, right now, Chastain running aggressive here. Ryan Blaney pulls off the pulls off pit road. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, the Red Sox and Blue Jays are on fire. Unfortunately, the Blue Jays are in the same division, but hey, I'm happy for some good performances from the Red Sox these last 10 games. So, but yeah, so there we go. Blaney, the first contender to come into the pits. Chris Buescher, John Hunter Nemechek, Kyle Larson, among others, also on pit road right now. Again, this next time by will be the last chance for most of the mortals to make their pit stop. Then the question will be does SVG decide to pit? And if so, does that open the door for any other drivers to try and grab their final pit stop? And even then, I think that only opens the door for Byron, maybe Briscoe, and possibly Bell, depending on how slow it goes. But here we go. Coming to take 3 laps to go. It'll be SVG taking 3 laps to go. And this is, again, the last chance for a lot of these guys to come to pit road. I'm curious to see who all else joins them. I'm hoping McDowell will, because I think the strategy is the right strategy, especially at this point. Here comes Bell. Christopher Bell hits pit road. And here we go. Christopher Bell coming down pit road, along with Allmendinger, Gibbs, Reddick, Elliott, and Michael McDowell pits. Okay, good. Michael McDowell pits. The front 4 have stayed out to this point. You've got SVG, Byron, Briscoe, Chastain. The front 4 have all stayed out up to this point here as everybody's coming off pit road. And again, a very, very stacked field here. It looks like Bubba Wallace has also stayed out. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is staying out to try and earn some stage points here. As, it is going to be a very jumbled up lineup here. Ty Dillon staying out to grab some stage points. Unfortunately, stage points are not factored into the in-season challenge. It is just about finishing position here. Looks like Austin Dillon may have also stayed out here to gain some track position. Todd Gilliland, Cole Custer as well staying out. And here comes SVG. Shane Van Gisbergen comes to pit road, and that might open the door for William Byron, Briscoe, and Chastain to try and run to their pits. Again, you got to get to the pit entrance early enough. Byron gets there, Briscoe as well. Can Chastain get there? Does Chastain just stay on track and take the stage point here? They have not hit the line yet, and it is going to be Chastain has opted to stay out, and Chastain will lead it at 2 laps to go in the stage. Chastain stays out to claim the stage win and the playoff point for Team Trackhouse, while his teammate SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, the dominator of the first stage, comes to pit road. So there we go. Chastain, SVG. Look, is SVG going to come out in second place even after a pit stop? SVG has made 1 extra pit stop over the field, and he is still in second place over guys who have yet to make a pit stop. Bubba Wallace. Oh, and Christopher Bell goes around. And looks like no harm, just a solo spin there, but comes back on track right ahead of AJ Allmendinger. And Christopher Bell having an issue here. That is going to be yet another incident. Bell gets a little bit off track as he was trying to pass Briscoe. Tags Briscoe, but does not spin Briscoe out. Great job of a teammate there to be able to actually realize that he had messed up. He had lost track of the car. Couldn't stop himself from tapping him, but manages to not take his teammate with him. I mean, say what you will about some of those situations. I mean, the fact that you can figure out how to spin yourself out and not take a teammate with you, I mean, that's major credit as a driver to be able to do that. But again, right now, SVG 21 seconds behind Chastain. But yeah, right now it's Bubba Wallace, Stenhouse, Byron, the top five. We got Ty Dillon, Briscoe. So Briscoe's going to hold on for some stage points here. Then you got the 12 of Blaney. Then you got the 54 Gibbs, and it looks like a battle between Custer and Austin Dillon battling it out for 10th and 11th place. The final stage point here as we are on the final lap. Again, Ross Chastain a 21-second lead as he is yet to pit over SVG, who has already made his pit stop. Bubba Wallace is also right there to try and challenge SVG, but SVG on the fresher tires, I would be shocked if SVG gives up this spot to Bubba Wallace. But here we go, rounding the corner, it's Ross Chastain, and he is going to come out of the hairpin corner, down through turn 12, and he is going to win stage 1 here at Sonoma Raceway. Let's go. So Ross Chastain stays out here. Here comes Bubba Wallace into the final corner, right on the back bumper of SVG. He moves him. He tries to move SVG. Not going to get there. Stage 1, second place is going to be SVG over Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace dropping back there. He will hold on to third. Stenhouse comes home fourth. Fifth will be Byron. Sixth, Ty Dillon. Seventh is going to be Briscoe. Eighth, Blaney. Ninth, Ty Gibbs. And rounding out your top 10 points-paying positions, it's Chase Elliott. Chase, in the battle between Cole Custer and Austin Dillon, it's Chase Elliott who takes the one and final point-paying position inside the top few there. There we go. All right, so there we go. Again, a very exciting first stage, and obviously the results are all a little jumbled up after that one. Eric Jones also stayed out to finish 13th in that stage. Another performance that we definitely didn't give quite enough attention to. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. There's some other notable ones. Todd Gilliland running up inside the top, as they obviously didn't pit there. AJ Allmendinger in 15th is the next highest driver who had pit. And yeah, Christopher Bell hanging on for an 18th place finish after spinning late like that. I will say that's going to hurt the tires though for this next eventual restart here. Yeah, the fact that Bell spun. Reddick and Busher also right behind him. Some other drivers who managed to get back up into the top 20 after pitting. Cody Ware in 24th, despite not having made a pit stop yet. Kyle Busch, another driver who was 29th, despite not making a single pit stop. And then Carson Hocevar and Catherine Legg, 36th and 37th, both dead last in the finishing position, despite not having made a pit stop yet. That is alarming. Good thing is, there's nowhere for them to go but up. And it is not good when that is the silver lining. I can go ahead and get this one. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, well. Again, we are relaxing here. Great commentary, brother. Gonna Needed this. Gonna miss the first two stages, and likely more than that. Likely, hey, perfectly thankful for having you around. We've been doing this for a couple years now, and I have been enjoying it the whole time. I will say the road courses are a little bit harder, especially when SVG is here, leading by somewhere between 4 to 5 seconds, sometimes more. But yeah, we've been doing this all year long, and we'll continue to do it for every Cup Series race and most of the Xfinity, and hopefully some of the trucks that aren't on Friday nights. We also have live at the track coverage of the local dirt track on Friday nights when I'm not asleep already. So again, we got sprint cars at Unity Raceway this Friday night. If you guys are in the Unity main area, I would absolutely recommend you guys come out to check out the SCO and Sprint Cars of New England racing at the Unity Raceway dirt track. They race 2 times this year. They race July 25th, which is this Friday night, I believe, if I've got my dates right. Sorry, it's next Friday, not this coming Friday. A week from Friday. Yeah, sorry, a week from Friday on July 25th. Is the SCO and Sprint Cars of New England first race. Then they come back for a double header in mid to late September. As here we go, all the drivers who did not pit, coming back down going to be coming down pit road to go ahead and level off the pit strategy. This should cycle everybody around. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend, if you guys haven't already seen them, and if you guys are in the area, that you guys check it out. And if you guys aren't in the area, feel free to check out our live at the track coverage from the grandstands. All right, there we go. Now we've got everybody who is all made pit stops kind of cycled to the front of the leaderboard. Not completely fixed at this point, as we got Ross Chastain still up in the mix, but yeah, so here we go. Effective leaders here. Oh, here we go. We got race off pit road. So it's everybody's holding serve pretty much. Jones and Dillon both gained a spot. Todd Gilliland lost 2. Gregson gained 1, and Haley lost 1 for the top 10 coming off pit road, but they're all basically at the very back, so it's not the biggest deal. They had the time to take their time to get it right. So we got SVG, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs are your top 5 when we re-rack. Elliott will be 6th. 7th will be AJ Allmendinger. 8th will be Christopher Bell. 9th, Tyler Reddick. And rounding out your top 10 when we re-rack, it'll be Chris Buescher. Alex Bowman will be 11th. 12th will be Ryan Preece. 13th is where we will see Michael McDowell restart from. 14th will be Brad Keselowski, and rounding out your top 15 restarters will be Austin Cindric from the 15th position. So there is a quick rundown as to how they will be restarting. Again, the order that they are in right now is just the order that they tag the start-finish line in. So, like, for example, Ross Chastain tagged the start-finish line on pit road before Byron came around to complete it under the yellow flag, but yeah, because Chastain was on pit road, obviously he will lose the spot to William Byron as they cycle it back around at the end of the next lap. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And just a real quick self-promo, I'm going to also mention that I do have a gaming channel, so if you guys like video games or card games, feel free to check that out. Hoping to have some more long-form content coming over there shortly, along with some more regular videos over here that aren't just live streams. We also had a short release over there about 30 minutes ago, so if you guys like pack openings, I recommend you guys give that a check out, but yeah, that is just a quick little promo. Again, I do gaming content over there. And there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. I do have another video I need to edit. I do have another short I need to edit for either later tonight or early tomorrow for to try and get everything all settled up for that. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. They're coming back from commercial break. They're talking about the in-season challenge again. No race winners from the 2025 season remain in the $1 million prize in-season tournament. And in fact, the 32 seed, the bottom seeded driver that made it in, he actually snuck in over SVG to claim that 32nd and final spot in the in-season tournament. It was Ty Dillon claiming that one. And yeah, he has made it all the way to the round of 8, which is wildly impressive. I would have loved to have seen where SVG would have ranked if he had been in this thing, but ultimately comes up a little. Ultimately he came up a little bit short at Pocono, Michigan, and well, it feels weird to say that he came up short at Mexico, but that 3-race stretch of Pocono, Michigan, and Mexico. Pocono, Mexico, Michigan, or however they did that thing. I think it was Michigan, Mexico, then Pocono, but regardless, yeah, at that 3-race stretch, ultimately SVG did not do good enough in the 3-race stretch to qualify for the in-season challenge. Otherwise, it would have been up to him to avoid the big one at the at Atlanta, which he did. I don't know who he would have faced or if he would have survived. I think he probably would have. And then he would have, and then theoretically would have won the Chicago Street Course, advanced through that round. He would be in this round of 8 as well. So, as I say, those that 32 seed looks to have been a very dangerous driver, regardless, because Ty Dillon has done an amazing job here. Lights off on the pace car, getting ready to see the pace car pull off towards the infield portion of the course, not the pit road. But here we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Shane Van Gisbergen and William Byron as we go. Green, green, green. Green flag is out. We are back to racing here at the Sonoma Raceway. Again, Briscoe and Blaney coming from row number 2. Row 3 is Elliott and Ty Gibbs. Battle of the generational drivers here. And by generational, I do mean that their fathers and or grandfathers are active in and around the sport. Not necessarily that they're generational talents, although I think they are. Actually, probably both would fit that description too. So, but yeah, there we go. SVG able to clear William Byron. Byron going to try and see if he can follow him down into turn. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the turn. I think it's turn 5 here, but down through the NASCAR chute here, down up into the, I believe it's turns. I think we decided it was either turn 6 or 7 with the big O'Reilly Auto Parts logo. And then down through the backstretch S's here, the most natural version, the most natural point on this road course, as SVG just starts to breathe in, breathe out, and race away. And as I say, Ryan Blaney got forced wide entering the NASCAR chute there. Yeah, as they went past the carousel. And that is unfortunate there for Ryan Blaney to have gotten sent wide there. Looks like that was off the he kind of ran himself wide there. A little bit of contact maybe with Briscoe, but honestly, I'm not sure Briscoe knew that there was a car even close to beside him there. So here we go. Now we got, Ty Gibbs going off course a little bit, trying to go around Briscoe. Briscoe doing an amazing job at making people try and go past him. And oh no! It is AJ Allmendinger off course. AJ Allmendinger, the road course ringer, is off course. One of AJ's best racetracks on the planet. One of the road courses where very few drivers have as many laps as he does. And yep, just in the dust. The dust kicked up by Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs kicked up the dust, and that threw AJ's line just slightly askew. And AJ Allmendinger went completely around. Good job from Chase Elliott and the other drivers behind him to manage to avoid him. And John Hunter Nemechek goes around. John Hunter Nemechek now the latest driver to go for a spin. A lot of drivers spinning out here, and it is still a very close battle for the lead. This time, William Byron and Briscoe are not letting SVG escape, at least not quite yet. I mean, we are still somewhat early in this stage, but I mean, they are keeping this really close. And oh my, how did John Hunter Nemechek not get run into there as he spun right in front of a massive pack of cars? Just watching this onboard is sketchy. He gets, I don't know if he got spun by Cindric or if he spun himself there on the nose of Cindric, but just seeing the amount of cars right ahead of him there. Okay, so it looks like John Hunter Nemechek may not have realized they were 3 wide there as Riley Herbst was just barely to the inside of the 2, so he was trying to push for more room from the 2, and the 2 couldn't get it because the 35 was there. But yeah, again, a massive credit to all the drivers around that situation that somehow John Hunter Nemechek did not get tagged as, Bubba Wallace had to make a very last-minute move to avoid running nose into having head-on contact with the front end of John Hunter Nemechek's race car there. But again, coming down to the line, and Byron is still keeping it very close with SVG, and Briscoe's right on the back bumper of him. And Ty Gibbs is right there as well, so we very well could have a 4-car duel here down the stretch. Again, William Byron and others having a lot less laps here. Although, actually, ironically, I think Ty Gibbs might have more laps than most Cup Series rookies because the Xfinity Series actually started coming to Sonoma recently. Back when William Byron and others were coming through the ladder system, it used to be a NASCAR and ARCA West only series, or back in the day it was the K&N West series. But it used to be that there was only a very regional race, and occasionally you'd have 1 or 2 Cup drivers running it, but very few and far between on Cup drivers running in that race. And Xfinity, I believe, had a race somewhere else that weekend. Usually, I think that would maybe be the Iowa race weekend if I remember the old schedules. But yeah, otherwise though, a lot of the Cup Series a lot of the current Cup Series field didn't get the opportunity to race the Sonoma Raceway until they got all the way to Cup, and that was that was one of the ones that kept Ross Chastain. I mean, he ran a near full season in 2017, but because he was running for, I believe, points in the NASCAR Xfinity Series that year, he actually missed the Sonoma Raceway to run what I think was Iowa at the time. So there we go. Ty Gibbs does get by Chase Briscoe, and he will start to see if he can run back down these front 2, who did get a little bit of a breakaway while Ty Gibbs was making that pass, but definitely something interesting to think about is that a lot of these Cup Series drivers, unlike at Watkins Glen where the Xfinity Series has been a companion race to the Cup forever, and a lot of these drivers have tens of thousands of laps at Watkins Glen between Xfinity and Cup. They definitely don't. A lot of them didn't race this as a Xfinity Series track. Here we go, down through the S's, through turn number 10, heading down towards that dangerous and sketchy hairpin corner, the last real corner of the racetrack. And again, SVG has the 24 all over his rear bumper, and the 54 is not all that far behind him. I think Ty Gibbs may actually be faster right now than Shane Vigelsberg. And as weird and sketchy as that sounds, I think Ty Gibbs might actually be faster right now than SVG. Don't know because they haven't put up the little purple indicator at all to indicate who the fastest lap belongs to. But let's see, last lap time. Yes, Ty Gibbs was the last lap by not by much, only 5/1000ths of a second, but Ty Gibbs was faster the last lap. That time it was SVG that was faster, but They're both running lap times within a tenth of a second of each other between SVG and Ty Gibbs. I mean, that is insanity that Ty Gibbs is doing that well, especially for such a young driver. I think that's absolutely commendable. I know a lot of fans have started to criticize Ty Gibbs, rightly, for not having a race win yet. And sure, you can definitely criticize him for it, but you also gotta factor in, at least to some extent, that he is doing exceptionally well given the fact that he's racing as one of the toughest and deepest Cup Series fields we've seen in a long time. I mean, we've got guys like Kyle Busch. We've got guys like Kyle Larson who have put on some dominating performances. William Byron has had some great performances. Christopher Bell at times has looked untouchable. The road courses, you've got the juggernaut of Van Gisbergen to contend with. All up and down this Cup Series field, Blaney has looked very tough at times and has looked like a potential championship contender. And obviously, he did win the championship 2 years ago. Buescher has looked very competent. I mean, we've got a number of competent cars on the grid. We've got the 60 of Ryan Preece running better than I think anyone thought that they would have any right to do. So yeah, I mean, you've got you've got Tyler Reddick in a Michael Jordan owned race car that almost all throughout the year looks like a very strong contender for a potential championship. And in fact, I believe Reddick has been in the final in the round of 8 multiple times in the last couple years. So it is one of the most stacked Cup Series fields I think we've ever seen. And is definitely something to give a quick shout out for. So good job to Ty Gibbs, even though you haven't won a race yet. Would love to see you get a win here soon, but you're doing a great job considering the hand of Cup Series drivers you've had to compete against. Because honestly, that's kind of the weird thing about the Cup Series right now is that outside of Denny Hamlin, there really is not. There really is not there aren't a whole lot of drivers that are even close to aging out of this one. But yeah, again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, they're coming back from commercial break here. 12 out of 30 laps completed here in stage number 2. 37 laps underway completed here. We've got 110 total laps on the day. So, again, SVG, though, still in the lead. He has led the majority of these laps. The only laps he didn't lead was right at the very end when he came into the pits. Yeah, coming to the end of stage 1 as in the attempt to flip the strategy. And Kyle Busch having a career bad day here. As he was as low as dead last at one point here. He's made his way up to 28th, but I mean, he just kind of seems a little stuck in a rut here. And the worst part is I don't really know what he does to try and get out of this. I mean, you can flip the stage, but so is almost everybody ahead of you. And you can stay out, but then you lose your track position at the end of the stage. So I really don't know. If I'm Kyle Busch, I'm flipping the stage, but I don't know how much it's really going to help him on the track position side of things. Again, you've got the four Noah Gragson, who's doing an admirable job here, but again, he's another one of those drivers that if you are looking at it as a place that Suarez could go, I mean, I'd hate it for him, but I could see it going there. And Denny Hamlin ended up off course. We got the 7 of Justin Haley, who's ended up off course as well. So a couple of drivers ending up off course there, just ahead of Kyle Busch. So there we go. All right. So again, we are looking down through this one. Allmendinger, after that spin, is stabilized in 27th position. 27th now that Kyle Busch has gone past him. He was holding on to 26th there for a moment. But Michael McDowell's made his way back up into the top 10. You got Ryan Preece making his way up into the top 10. A lot of these drivers that we don't normally get a whole lot of time to talk about. Again, Michael McDowell, Obviously, personal favorite of mine, Busher, has been fairly quiet this year, but at the road courses, he's got a top 5 finish here at Sonoma in the next gen era. I would not be shocked to see him make some headway here in the latter part of this stage. But honestly, we've gotten halfway through this stage, and SVG is still within reach. SVG almost looks somewhat mortal, which is an insane stat here, is the fact that Shane Van Gisbergen, despite the dominance he showed in the first stage, William Byron is right there on his bumper here in stage number 2. I don't know if there's some sort of issue with the 88 that he's trying to feel out, or if he's trying to figure something out to try and help him gain the speed in this after one more pit stop adjustment. Because again, we're coming up on halfway in this stage, or halfway in the stage this time by. And at the end of this stage, the race will be half over, and they'll have they've only got probably 2 more shots to fix this car if they want to try and fix it for him before the end of this race. If there is even anything wrong. Again, that first stage looked absolutely dominant. Yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see if he'll do that at the end, at the latter part of this stage as well. And there we go, Chase Briscoe making the pass on Ty Gibbs. So Ty Gibbs looked very dominant there for a few minutes, but he seems to have settled back down. And it's kind of fallen back to 4th here. Meanwhile, William Byron hanging very close to the 88 of SVG. Chase Briscoe back up into the 3rd position. I mean, you've got a very strong field here. All right, so again, right now we got ourselves a battle at the front of the field. SVG still hanging on to that lead, but only by about half a second over William Byron. And again, Byron actually faster that last lap over SVG. Currently, the fastest lap of the day does still appear to be going to SVG, but William Byron is right there with a 93.8 mile an hour lap. SVG a 94.007. So William Byron only about 0.2 of a mile an hour off of SVG for that best lap of the day. Michael McDowell working his way up through the field as well. I would love to see Michael McDowell. Come on, just flip. All we need to do is flip this stage one more time. Hope we can get a good pit stop in. Don't ruin the car. And maybe we can get close enough to contend. But as of right now, though, it definitely looks like SVG has control of the front of this field. Although it is nowhere near as firm a grasp as what he had in the last stage. So, we've crossed halfway here in stage number 2 as we're working our way through this one. Again, the back bumper of the 20 of Bell is being used up by Chris Buescher. Buescher going to try and see if he can push Bell either into a mistake or further forward to maybe contend, as Ryan Blaney has just put Ty Gibbs back to 5th. So now Gibbs will be having to fend off his teammate of Christopher Bell for the 6th position as Bell is trying to move forward. And right now it seems like Ty Gibbs may have used up the Goodyear tires there. So as of right now, though, it is going very well, honestly, for these drivers. Heading down towards turn number... Yeah, I have no idea what number turn that is. But yeah, here we go. Now Chase Briscoe up the inside, passing William Byron. Byron gets passed by Briscoe. Now Briscoe is going to set his eyes on trying to run down Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean, I don't know what kind of lap Briscoe is turning, but it's got to be insane here as they're going to go ahead and they're doing some sort of piece here on Sonoma Raceway as we are... looks like they are sending us to a commercial break. It is at least going to be a side-by-side, so we'll have the ability to watch what's going on track. Here we go. Bell looking up the inside on Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is going to drop even further, probably behind the 17 of Buescher. Although, no, it actually looks like a gap's going to open in line here for Buescher to fall, to have Ty Gibbs fall right ahead of Chris Buescher. Alright, so there we go. And we are just chilling out here 18 laps into this stage, 43 completed on the day. And this race is far from over right now as again, SVG, he's closing in on having led 30 or nearly 40 laps on the day. Briscoe, he was able to run just slightly faster than William Byron that last time by, but more importantly, was able to get the pass done as he made the pass on William Byron a few minutes ago. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Waiting to see, they're talking about the in-season tournament thing, it looks like, because I'm seeing clips from Chicago, and that's not an upcoming race. Atlanta's not an upcoming race either. So, they must be talking about the in-season challenge, which, again, it's been good, but I don't know. I feel like this week's bracket is going to be a fairly chalk one, unfortunately, it looks like. Alright, so there we go. And yeah, SVG currently holds the fastest lap over William Byron and Ryan Preece, actually, ironically, having the second fastest lap, or the third fastest lap of the day by SVG and William Byron. Byron, though, dropping behind Blaney here is Byron dropping quite a bit. You do have Eric Jones versus John Hunter Nemechek at the very back of the field battling it out for position. And Ryan Preece versus Tyler Reddick is actually a really close battle as well on track, as Tyler Reddick in the 45 is catching the back bumper of Preece for the 10th position. Again, there's still 10 laps to go in the stage, and we will likely see these drivers flip the stage as well, so we really only have about 6 to 7 more laps of them battling it out for position before we see one or both of them probably come into the pits. So, curious to see how that battle turns out. Again, John Hunter Nemechek versus Eric Jones. That's just right at the very back. Then we got Bowman versus Dillon kind of in the midfield, 116th versus 124th. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so yeah, we got 20 people hanging out in chat. Thank you for everybody that's decided to spend a portion of very valuable time here with us as we are getting ready for the second half of this race. Again, 10 laps to go here before we hit halfway and before we hit the end of this stage. Alright, so there we go. And here we go. Chastain and Suarez. Oh! Chastain into the back bumper of Suarez! Sends Suarez around in the hairpin. Everybody manages to go either inside or outside of Suarez. But Suarez goes around in the hairpin corner off the front bumper of teammate Ross Chastain. And I mean, that was more the move of a former teammate than a real teammate. Cause man, he just ran him right over. There we go. How do you get to the race from chat? I can't. One, I'm not supporting any of the people who are pirating the race stream illegally. So if you want to watch alongside the actual TV broadcast, it's TNT or HBO Max, depending on your preferred, whether you prefer traditional TV through a cable subscription or if you prefer streaming. But I can't put the race, the actual race broadcast on TV on the screen for copyright reasons, and I'm not going to support people who are breaking the copyright. There are also plenty of people who are, so if you want to go support one of them, go right ahead. But yeah, I'm not going to be linking to them, and surprisingly, none of their bots have shown up and linked to any of the any of the pirators pirating the broadcast. But again, it's both there's a streaming outlet and a traditional cable outlet, so there should be very little to complain about. But here we go. 9 laps to go, and looks like the 77 might be losing some ground here. Not sure if, oh boy, if he has a flat tire. Oh, we got some damage on the front of the two. Not sure if that's related to the 77's issue, but the 77 looked like he was slowing down to the point where I was concerned for a tire. I would hope that if a tire had gone down that we would have seen more of a focus on the 77 here for the TV broadcast, but they've kind of just blown whatever that was under the rug for the 77, so I'm guessing, Hocevar's already a lap down. Okay, so that's why they're not making a bigger mess about it. And say Hocevar will get the lead, will get the benefit of the free pass when he gets back on lead lap at the end of this stage. Now, if he tries to stay out and get his lap back the old-fashioned way, 1, I'm not sure he will, and 2, he'll get a pit stop regardless if he, because he'll be the free pass. He just won't be able to gain any spots as the free pass. Oh, man. Yeah, so there we go. Again, there's 8 laps to go, 8 more times around. Again, a reminder that with about, when we're coming to 3 laps to go, so when we got about 3-4 laps to go, we're going to see everybody probably flipping the stages here. SVG over the last couple of, as William Byron got phased out of the lead group, SVG has now risen to a nearly 3-second lead over Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe, Blaney, second and third here. Byron has slipped all the way to 4th here after putting on a very good challenge to SVG. Just unfortunately didn't last long enough. Alright, so again, right now, working our way through this one. Alright, so again, 24 laps completed. Again, we're closing in on this one. 6 laps to go. We saw with 5 laps to go, we saw someone come to pit road last time, and that was Cindric. But as of right now, nobody has made their way to pit road yet for this stage. So as of right now, we're just kind of waiting to see as everybody's making their way through the NASCAR chute here. Alright, so there we go. They've got their DraftKings ad going on. The side-by-side side-by-side right now is not giving us a great camera angle to see much of anything going on outside the front bumper. There we go. I will say the onboard cameras are not really great for side-by-side commercials because you can barely see what's out the front of them due to the everything covering it up. Hey, William, how's it going? There we go. Thank you for the gifted member. There we go. All right, so again, we are 5 laps to go now. 5 to go. At the line, this is it. When they come around to cross the line this time, I would expect to see our first wave of drivers hitting pit road here as they come back from commercial break. Perfect timing here for NASCAR. Again, they'll be coming around to 5 laps to go. Okay, so it looks like maybe 1 more lap after this, but this lap and the next one would be the start of that. The start of the pit road wave as people try and flip the stages here. So here we go. Everybody's working their way through this one. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Here we go. Priest versus Gibbs. Ryan Priest hanging on to that 9th spot right now. Ty Gibbs going to try and see if he can run him back down here. Ty Gibbs has... Wow, that's impressive. But Ty Gibbs, the furthest back he's dropped is 14th today, and that was somewhat recently after he went off course earlier this stage. So he's doing a really good job at just hanging out inside the top few. There we go. And hey, William, thank you for joining the channel as a member yourself. So thank you for that. And yeah, we've got ourselves 5 laps to go now. 5 laps to go. In stage number 2, again, next time by would be the time I was off by a lap. So this time by, I would expect to see some drivers coming into the pit road when we are crossing over to 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go and 3 laps to go. That's kind of your 2-lap window for a lot of these drivers to pit. Yeah, then when we're coming to 2 laps to go, we only have 3 laps to go and we're coming to 2. That's when basically your race leader and a couple of the guys behind him can do it. Although the fact that they've stayed a lot closer this time, SVG might be able to hang on to the SVG might not be able to hang on to the lead here through this one if he has even a slightly bad pit stop. All right, here we go. Chris Buescher leads all active drivers with top 15s and top 10s and average finish on road courses in the next gen era. That's pretty impressive there for Chris Buescher there. SVG will probably end up taking that record, at least one of those records, away from him as he starts getting more of those. And here we go, the first drivers to hit pit road. We've got Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell, and Tyler Reddick, the first 3 drivers to jump down onto pit road. Welcome on in. All right, so there we go. Everybody's coming on down. There's a lot of people coming down onto pit road. Cindric Zane-Smith also on this earlier wave. Again, next time by, we're going to have to see pretty much the rest of the field from about 7th on back. We'll have to make their pit stop next time by if they are intending to make a pit stop. So I do like Mike McDowell flipping the stage. I think it works in his best interest here. Let's say flipping the stage, getting himself the best track position possible, hopefully, and maybe being able to run this one back. Let's check our fantasy lineups, because if you guys play the NASCAR fantasy game, we do have a fantasy league here that we take part in. Link is in the description if you want to take part in that. Let me see if I need to make any adjustments to my lineup. I'm 8, so I probably do. Yep, I need to move McDowell into my active spot. So give me 1 second, guys. Again, we're fixing our lineups here as we got more drivers coming down pit road. Byron, Buescher, Elliott, Priest, Ty Gibbs, and Brad Keselowski all coming down pit road. Again, a long list of drivers coming down pit road. Here comes Logano down pit road. You're going to see Larson. No Larson, but we do have Riley Herbst, Todd Gillen coming to pit road. Looks like maybe a few more drivers staying out than we would normally expect. All right, so there we go. All right, but yeah, SVG out in front of the field here. Should be coming to pit road this time if he wants to try and flip the stage. Although he could stay out and get the track position, but no, yes, he does. He does opt to come to pit road here. Briscoe will be the question mark. Briscoe follows the pit road. Does Blaney make it to pit road? Blaney makes it to pit road. Ross Chastain, I don't think Chastain's going to have the time to make it. And it's going to be Ross Chastain leading this field around. And we've not hit it. Okay. Oh, no, Ross Chastain makes it to pit road before the line. I'm wondering if SVG may have slowed down just a little bit early to try and give Chastain enough time, because Chastain barely makes it onto pit road before SVG closes pit road by crossing the line to take 2 laps to go. Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch on those two stay on track. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will assume 3rd place. Bubba Wallace 4th, Briscoe 5th. So again, currently they're all flipping the stage, but who's the favorite? I think the undisputed favorite is probably going to be Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG is pretty much the undisputed favorite here. Sorry, just trying to fix my fantasy lineups here because I hadn't actually checked them throughout the race as we were going, and fantasy lineups do lock at the end of stage 2 for anyone who is new to playing the NASCAR fantasy game. So, but yeah, again, I think SVG is by far the favorite to win this race here. He's led now 49 laps. I mean, I'm not a gambling person, but I try not to be a gambling person, but SVG at the road courses has seemed. In fact, SVG has made an extra pit stop and is nearly closing in on passing Larson for the stage win. I mean, again, if you were to bet on somebody, it looks like SVG would be the safe bet for the day. Alright, so there we go. Got like 2 more fantasy lineups. Here's say a little bit of contact there as SVG battling it out with Kyle Larson, and that's the thing you got to be worried about if SVG takes himself out of contention. But there we go. He needs these playoff points. Where can you see the race for free? Well, unfortunately, I'm not pirating the stream, and I don't support people who do. But I'm sure you can find somebody pirating the actual race broadcast for free if you look. But it's also available on TNT, which is included with most traditional cable packages, as well as HBO Max is also carrying the race. So if you already have that subscription, it wouldn't be any extra on top of it. There we go. Just trying to get these last 2 fantasy lineups fixed here because I know I have McDowell in a couple of garages here. As we got 1 lap to go, coming through the final set of corners, and Shane Van Gisbergen wins over Kyle Larson for stage number 2. Let's see, am I going to have time to make this last swap? Alright, let's see. I think that is all I needed to do, so there we go. So, yep, checkered flag for stage number 2. Shane Van Gisbergen leads his 50th lap of the day as he takes the checkered flag here. Kyle Larson led 1 lap in that stage, and so far, 55 laps completed. Shane Van Gisbergen's led 50 of them. Kyle and Kyle both stayed out to finish 2nd and 3rd. Bubba Wallace comes home 4th. 5th will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 6th will be Chase Briscoe, who did pit, so that's another driver. That's going to be your 2nd place driver when we get ready for the restart. Ty Dillon gets 7th again. Does Ty Dillon know that stage points don't factor into his to the in-season tournament bracket? Because right now he's collecting a lot of stage points. I just don't think it's gonna matter for him because he needs a good result at the end of the race to beat Bowman for the in-season challenge. Busher comes home in the 8th position. He'll be 3rd on the re-rack. Blaney comes home in the 9th position, and William Byron will round out your top 10. Those last 3 names all being drivers who pit before the end of the stage, so we will see them re-rack to the front of the field when we get the re-rack. So, all right, okay. So Shane Van Gisbergen, yep, there we go. He does officially have the point for the fastest lap award. And as of right now, I am still stuck in 8th. Wow. I mean, hopefully that as the field re-racks, because I've got guys like Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, and Michael McDowell who all flip the stages. Hopefully that maybe some of those will help me get back up there. Again, I think everybody probably has SVG. He's gotten all but 1 point available because he finished 2nd in stage 1, 1st in stage 2, and now he's going to be leading with. And he's already got the fastest lap award so far. All right, but yeah, right now though, this race has been incredible so far. I mean, again, for a race that's been absolutely dominated by SVG, because that's one thing to take note is that you can have a good race despite the fact that one specific driver has absolutely dominated the entire thing. Again, we saw it all throughout the Jimmy Johnson era. Jimmy Johnson leading multiple races wire to wire, and I say those were some of the most popular times in the NASCAR scene. Although, of course, there were many other circumstances that led to that. But here we go, the Dover schedule. We got Dover ARCA race. I won't be able to stream because I will be at the local dirt track Saturday 4:30. I hope I'll be able to do the Xfinity Series race. Sunday 2 p.m. We will absolutely be doing that one for the Cup Series race from Dover. So, and again, we got ourselves a very full week of racing here. Although no Truck Series action again this week. So, now what is the next? When is the next Truck Series race? I wonder. Let me go ahead and look that one up while we're under the caution flag, just coming back from the commercial break, so we should have a little bit of. Oh, it's Lucas Oil Raceway on Sprint Car Weekend at the local dirt track, so I will not be streaming that one, unfortunately. Do the trucks have any other races I'll be able to cover without missing action at the track? Craftsman Truck Series at Watkins Glen on a Friday. Nope. Friday, August 15th, 7:30. Nope. Saturday at Darlington at noon. Nope. Not going to be able to do that because I got work. As I am. Unless this somehow, between now and August, becomes stable, anywhere near stable enough for me to take an extra day off work for that. Especially for a truck broadcast, I doubt it. And here we go. All the drivers who did not pit before the last commercial break are now coming down here. Another Saturday. Saturday at noon. They've got another Saturday at noon, and that will be a New Hampshire Motor Speedway race, and I will actually be in attendance for that one. I will miss the September 11th race at Bristol Motor Speedway, as I will be in transit to the track. Then we got Friday at 3:30, probably not. Friday, and Friday. So maybe championship week. Maybe I don't know when the local track wraps up for the year. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, SVG has been absolutely dominant. That is for sure. But there we go. Again, 57 laps complete. We are over halfway home here from this one, and they have re-racked the field. And let's go ahead and highlight some of them. So, Alex Bowman versus Ty Dillon is a much closer battle than I think Bowman wants it to be. Only a 2-spot difference there, 18th and 20th for Bowman does have the lead over Ty Dillon, but it is close. Ryan Preece over Tyler Reddick right now, only a 2-spot difference there, 9th to 11th. Eric Jones has about a 24-spot advantage over John Hunter Nemechek at the current moment, as Eric Jones is 12th, and John Hunter Nemechek is currently 37th and dead last. And then we got Ty Gibbs in 10th, while Zane Smith, the driver he's racing, is all the way back in the 22nd position. So, in terms of the in-season challenge, we got a couple of good matchups down the stretch. Honestly, the in-season tournament's actually been a fairly fun thing. I mean, obviously the fan predicting bracket part of it was busted all in week 1, which was not the best. But yeah, there we go. So again, we got let's see. So we got SVG, Briscoe, Busher, Blaney, Byron, Elliott up to 6th, Bell 7th, Mike McDowell still in 8th. Unfortunate. I was hoping Michael McDowell would be able to gain a spot or two in the pit road melee. Hopefully, maybe on and off pit road under green he'll be able to, assuming we get a green flag run to the checkers. Ryan Preece in 9th, Ty Gibbs running at your top 10. Reddick in 11th. Brad Keselowski looks like he will take 12th. 13th, Chastain. 14th, Alex Bowman. And rounding out your top 15 will be Austin Cindric. So, it's a pretty decent battle here on track. And if we had, why couldn't we get this layout every week for this thing? Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second and I can get, I can probably improve this broadcast by a bit. Give me just 1 second, guys. Do. All right. Do. We are still under the commercial break. You have not missed a thing here. Again, SVG getting his second stage win of the season. Those points will become imperative as we get down the stretch here. Alright, here we go. Come on. Let me just hide this away because I just realized it's going to make me type in my password here. Oh, come on. Let me interact. Come on. Does it not let me do it if it's not visible? Okay, so I gotta hide it then behind everything else. Let me just hide it behind the webcam for a minute here. That way we can interact with it, and there we go. There we go. Alright. Now we can actually see it. Alright, so they're doing the choose cone. We will be racing here shortly. Give me 1 second. There we go. It looks like we are going to be able to do this, so bring this back to the forefront here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and full screen this for a minute while I get this whole thing sized up. Oh. Alright, here we go. They're ready to go back racing. We will be green flag in a moment. Alright, so here we go. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of SVG. Now we have an actual both track layout up in the top corner, along with a little mini tracker that will track the top 10. So there we go. I think that is a pretty decent improvement on the broadcast, hopefully. And yeah, we are here and ready for this one. You have a video of the fight? What fight? I am unaware of a fight that you're referring to here, but and I say, we are green flag back out and racing here. SVG out in front of the field. He's not able to clear it. He does just about clear over. Oh, and out of the back of the race, we got not John Hunter. That's Noah Gregson in the 4 going spinning out of the back of the pack there. Man, John. Why do I keep wanting to say John Nemechek? That's not his team anymore. That is Noah Gregson going around, and that is a disappointment there. But there we go. Again, Briscoe in second here. He's going to try and hold the pressure on SVG. He's coming. He's trying to poke out a line. Does not get to the back bumper of the 88, and in fact, actually, the 17 car of Chase. Of Chris Buescher gets to the back bumper of Briscoe. I am mixing up names all over the place now. But yeah, we've got again Buescher all over the back bumper of Briscoe, which the problem is if those two get to fighting, they're just gonna let SVG walk away with this one. And again, right now, a lot of your top drivers are really struggling kind of in this mid-pack battle here. You got Ryan Preece battling it out with Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick right behind him. Again, those two fighting for the in-season tournament battle between 45 and 60 here. Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs is just kind of in the middle of this dogfight. You've got Michael McDowell up into the 7th position. Nice to see Michael McDowell making some moves forward, but again, a massive fight here in the back half of the top 10 between the 60 car and the 54. And Alex Bowman actually making a pass here on Tyler Reddick, moving up into the 11th spot, giving Ryan Preece a little bit more breathing room, so he might not have to attack Ty Gibbs as ruthlessly, although an extra 2 spots is definitely better than 1 here. And Ryan Blaney gets to the inside of Busher this time into the hairpin. Down into the hairpin, Ryan Blaney ends up forcing the 17 wide there, but now the 17 has the inside corner going into turns 1. Contact ends loose! Ryan Blaney way off course, and he is into the barrels or into the tires. That's going to be caution flag flying here. Caution flag is out for, and Ryan Blaney is stuck. As, Bubba Wallace goes around as well. Bubba Wallace goes around as well. Caution flag officially goes out. Denny Hamlin also around. Oh my gosh. Drivers around all over the place here. I cannot believe that, man. Man, that was a lot of cars going around all at once. Again, Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace, and Denny Hamlin all going around at the same time. Daniel Suarez was right in the middle there too, but I mean that was all off of just an over-aggressive move by Chris Buescher, just sending the 12 wide after getting shoved wide in the hairpin by car number 12. So, and say definitely a little bit of unnecessary contact there, but honestly, 99% of NASCAR is unnecessary contact. If you officiate any and all unnecessary contact, we would have no more racing. So, again, I think no harm, no foul, but I certainly do think all the names here. Blaney will probably owe Buescher one when he gets back on track. Maybe not today. Maybe he saves this one that he is owed a week or two. But ultimately, again, I think once you see the replay and give yourself some time to calm down, I think you'll realize, yes, it is Buescher's fault, but it's not that bad of a thing. Again, at least that's what I'm guesstimating will be the mutual feeling of most of the field when we get back around to it. But as I say, all in all, though, this race has been chaotic. And it's not looking like it's going to end anytime soon. Caution flag, the first natural caution flag of the day. So there we go. What scheme is Byron running? I believe he's running his light blue and red Valvoline car. If I've got the scheme right, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Not sure if that is the one. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the car he's running. Have a photo. We just have a photo of just that one. That'd be nice. I say, I feel like most Byron fans would know it, but let's see if I can find it. Yep, there it is. So we'll go ahead and throw it up on screen here for you guys. So that right there is the just throw it up over the overlay for now. But yeah, that right there is the paint scheme that Byron is running today. So yeah, it's the light blue and red Valvoline. Someone just hit the wall. Ryan Blaney got shoved wide by Chris Buescher off course. He managed to avoid hitting the concrete walls that Casey Kane destroyed that one year, but he ended up actually getting high sided on the hill to the point where he was going to need a tow truck to get out there. And then you had Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin both went spinning as well. So yeah, that there is the scheme Byron's running today. I actually quite like that scheme. It's one of my favorites of Byron's schemes. That and the Liberty University cars are also pretty good. Flame schemes are kind of... I'm not saying I don't like the flame schemes, but it does feel like they are just a little easy to do. And, you know, when it comes to trying to do a paint scheme right, I like to see something that isn't just copy and pasting what the same designers did 25, 30 years ago for Jeff Gordon. So I like some of the more unique schemes, and that is definitely one of them. So. There we go. We'll go ahead and take that one down. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and show that one for you guys. And yeah, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time again. We are currently under caution flag for the incident with Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher. But Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace did have a simultaneous spin as the caution was coming out while we were waiting for the caution to come out for the Ryan Blaney incident. But Blaney was high-sided, wasn't going to be able to get back on track in the first place, so... Yep, there we go. We should be, everything should be getting ready to get going. But yeah, looking forward to the rest of this race. Hopefully you guys are too. If you guys are new here, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new. So you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. We've been doing these for a couple years now, and yeah, no plans on stopping anytime soon. Again, we'll definitely, as I say, truck races, it looks like are going to be a little bit limited because we've started doing the local we've been doing the at the track local dirt track coverage, which if you guys enjoy seeing that, feel free to tune in on Friday nights around 7 o'clock. I'm gonna stop streaming the practice sessions just because it feels like a lot of unnecessary time where I might still grab some clips and use that to make promo videos for the streams, but I'm probably not going to stream during the practice sessions. We'll start the streams around the same time the heat races start. But, yeah, here we go. Oh! Ty Gibbs ended up running really wide there. And so I don't know what this was. So let's see what happened here. So we're on board with the 17. 17 punts Ty Gibbs way out of the groove. He almost hits the 9 car. And then here we go, seeing on the back bumper of on board with the 6 here as he's pulling into his pit stall. And the 54 pulls right through the middle of the 6's pit box there. Oh, yeah, there's the fight. Okay, I didn't know what the fight you were referring to was. But yeah, there's the scuffle on pit road between the 54 and the 6 crew members, so... All right, here we go. Pit road is open. I don't think they can make it to the end from here if they come down. And I say, if you're on the back half of the field, I think this is your best shot to just come down here now and hope you can fuel save and pray. But I don't know. I think you're too far out to try and pull that move off. These teams have way more numbers than I do. I have literally 2 monitors, and okay, we got Blaney obviously on pit road getting his service done. After being towed back, after being high-sided by the contact here, they're gonna check the hood vents, try and make sure there's no dirt in the radiator that would potentially block the air and cause it to run hot. That would be a major factor here on the next gen car. these new hood vents, allowing them to not have to lift the entire hood up to clean it. But yeah, that's always one of those things you gotta be worried about when you go off track is if you end up with a lot of dirt or mud blocking the radiator intake pipe. So I can say smart things to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I really don't. But again, we got Mike McDowell on board cameras here. Well, I will say I'm loving seeing Mike McDowell. What happened to Mike McDowell? Where did he come into pit? Please tell me Mike McDowell came into pit, and if so, why on earth did he do that? Yep, McDowell was on pit road for a pit stop there. Can you go 40? You can't go 40 laps here without a pit stop. So I'm not sure as to the strategy here for Michael McDowell. They're doing the choose cone here, and they will be going left and right here. Looks like Ty Gibbs is going to follow his teammate. A little bit of out of order strategy there. I didn't get to see where the first couple of people went, and they aren't showing it on the screen yet. But yeah, I'm not sure as to what the strategy is there though. I'm gonna say SVG, Briscoe, Byron, the front three. As we get ready to go back for the restart here. All right, so here we go. Getting ready to go back racing here. Bill, say pace car will pull off to the inside of the racetrack here as it will leave the field in the hands of SVG and Chase Briscoe here as we get ready to go. Green flag is out. We are racing here once again at Sonoma. Let's see, can Chase Briscoe stay alongside the 88, or will the 88 be able to clear Chase Briscoe as they head up the hill? Briscoe stays door to door with the SVG. SVG, a half car length advantage. He clears Briscoe as they head down into turn 2, turn 3, and up towards turn 4 to head towards the S's here. But yeah, down into the big turn 4, the big bicycle turn where we always used to see drivers getting up on 2 wheels. Haven't seen that as much in the next gen era though. Here we go. Byron looking to the inside on Briscoe. Going to see if he can maybe get by the 19 and put a challenge to the 88 himself. But no, Briscoe actually holds off the 24, at least for the moment. Now the 24 has got to try and find another chance to try and get underneath the 19 and be able to make this pass. But while they're doing this, SVG is starting to break away. Chase Elliott up into the top 5, though. Credit to him. Chase Elliott starting to drive like vintage road course Chase Elliott from the pre-next gen era. Say obviously still not at SVG's level, but so the fact that he's starting to show up inside the top 5 is certainly impressive. So we got now we got Gibbs and Reddick battling it out for the 8th position side by side. And again, Reddick needs to get by both Ty Gibbs and Ryan Preece to stay alive in the $1 Million Challenge. If Ty Gibbs ends up holding up Reddick and eliminating, ironically, it would be eliminating, I believe, his next round opponent. Now, if I'm Ty Gibbs at Dover, I think I'd rather race, I would probably rather race Preece than Reddick, but I'm not completely sold on that. And here we go, Bowman sneaking his way through. So Bowman sneaks his way through, and yeah, that would be so. If Ty Gibbs does win his thing, he'll battle the winner of Preece versus Reddick here. As we continue to work our way through this 167 laps complete here, as we are getting closer and closer to the end of this race as time continues to tick on. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We got 48 people hanging out in chat. As they head up the course here, Bowman leads this this group from 8th on backwards here. Again, Ty Gibbs working his way to try and at least stay ahead of Reddick here, which is, again, will make his next round opponent a little bit easier. Although I think Ty Gibbs would like to see Bowman get knocked out here because both Dover and Indianapolis both tend to be Hendrick Motorsports specialty tracks. So if I'm Ty Gibbs, I kind of want to try and affect that outcome too. I want to try and help Ty Dillon eliminate Bowman. Not to mention, I think Ty Dillon versus either of the Legacy Motor Club cars is a more exciting matchup than Bowman versus either of the Legacy Motor Club cars. So, from a personal opinion, and I don't dislike Bowman. I just think he is miles better than any of the other drivers that he would end up facing in that situation versus Ty Dillon, who I think is a lot closer to their level. Although I think Dillon would still be the underdog in that situation. He'd be in the underdog for his like 4th straight matchup in a row, which would be insane to still be an underdog at that point. But we got this one going here. 42 laps to go. Again, Briscoe out ahead of the rest of the field, but SVG has snuck away to a 1.5 second lead here as he is starting to gap Briscoe and the rest of the field here as we're closing down the last couple of laps, the last several laps here at Sonoma. 42 laps to go. I believe we do still need another green flag pit stop somewhere along the way. My guess is that we'll see that pit stop come with about 20, 25 laps to go. Although I could also understand if some of these if I'm one of these drivers, I might want to pit as soon as that pit window opens. So as soon as I think the window is open, jump on pit road, get that fuel stop done. That way, if a caution comes out, you can essentially flip the strategy. Rather than waiting so long that you end up pitting under the caution flag and then you end up looking a little silly. Now, obviously, that strategy only works is if you're far enough ahead of the leader to avoid far enough ahead of the leader. Yeah, far enough ahead of the leader from getting a lap down to be able to actually pass and be able to make that one happen. So, again, up the hill goes SVG. 40 laps to go right now as they are heading down towards turn 4. And again, he is just so smooth around here. Barely putting a wheel wrong all afternoon so far. He has led 53 laps en route to this one. 53 out of the 70 laps on the day. And really the only time SVG hasn't led has been when he chose not to lead by forfeiting track position to get the tires before the stages ended. So, right now though, SVG putting on an incredible performance here for the NASCAR Cup Series field. And again, the rest of the field just trying to hang on here to this one. But yeah, I'm curious to know because again, right now I think Bowman is my favorite for the championship if he can just advance through this week. And honestly, he's not a bad road course racer, so it's not like I think he's gonna struggle this week. Obviously, I think Ty Dillon is the lesser driver there, but Ty Dillon has impressed all year. Currently sitting in the 31st position, so he's got a long way to go. Probably would take a mistake from Bowman to allow Ty Dillon back into this one, but hey, we've gotten through over half the race, and big dust cloud on the back straightaway. No drivers around. So somebody must have just clipped the edge of the dirt, but man, big dust cloud there. Not sure who clipped the dirt there, but that would have been a big smoke screen there. But yeah, I mean, none of the matchups are decided yet this far into it, which is a little bit of fairly impressive stat there. Considering with most of the other runs so far this year, we've seen at least one matchup decided by halfway through the race. Although with less matchups, it's not a shock to see none of them. Maybe a little bit of a shock to see none of them decided yet, but Feels like every couple of laps, one of the Legacy Motor Club cars is trying to throw the in-season challenge matchup from one of them to the other. Like right now, Eric Jones all the way back in second to last position here. John Hunter Nemechek in the mid-20s. But give it enough time, John Hunter Nemechek will probably end up spinning out or something and bringing this right back into a tight battle with Jones for the final, for their spot. Meanwhile, Ty Dillon currently hanging out in the back of the field right now, while Bowman is challenging inside the top 10. Again, I think it'll probably take a mistake from Bowman for that one to change. But then you got Priest and Reddick, who are both really close, and then you've got Ty Gibbs and Zane Smith, who are also really close, battling it out for this one. All right, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Feel free to let me know who you guys are rooting for in the in-season challenge and who you guys think is going to win this race. Again, at this point, I think SVG is probably the unanimous answer as to who we think is going to win this race. But hey, I think I would love to see a good run from Mike McDowell. Where is McDowell running? Where? Oh, McDowell pit. Never mind. I shouldn't be expecting McDowell to be near the front, but I need McDowell to do something here because I need something McDowell does to pay off for him, because at this point he is playing from behind and it is going to be a really tough sell for him to try and make this comeback. So maybe he runs longer than everybody else on the thing and has fresher tires near the end of the race. Could be an advantage, but I'm not sold on that one. So let's see. What about the progress not SVG? The progress McDowell's been making through the field. All right, so he's up 5 spots from the restart. So he's not making. It's not like he's making bad progress here through the field. It's just a problem that he's having to make any amount of progress. All right, so here we go. Again, 37 laps to go here. Working their way through this one. SVG starting to just coast further and further away, although it doesn't feel like he's really pushing the issue as far as he should be. Either that or the field has gotten a lot closer to him since that first run. But yeah, right now Briscoe and Byron hanging out about 2.5 to 3.5 seconds behind him. And right now, here we go! Bowman gets turned a little bit. Manages to stay going straight after the contact there, but contact with Brad Keselowski sends Bowman wide, and he ends up losing 3 spots there to Gibbs, Keselowski, and Reddick. As those 3 follow on through, Bowman back to 11th, so starting to see some negative momentum going Bowman's way. We've seen when it rains, it pours for Alex Bowman, so... Alright, so again, we are chilling out here. Alright. Too many road courses. My biggest problem with it is I think they compacted too many of them into the summer. I feel like if we spread them out a little bit more, I feel like they'll feel a little bit more natural. I still think 6 is on the high side, but I think somewhere between 4 and 6 works well. Gives enough impact to where guys like SVG are still effective and there is a reason to practice your road course racing, but it's not a majority of the racing, and it doesn't consume the entire summer. Because again, that's kind of my biggest problem with the road course racing. And there's the replay. I thought that was another one, but no, that's a replay of the contact there from Keselowski. But yeah, that's kind of my biggest problem with the way they have the road courses. That they had Mexico City in June, then back-to-back races in July. So yeah, and Kyle Busch went for a spin through turn 7. But yeah, that was kind of my biggest problem with the schedule, was just that they that's the rumor, is that there's 7 next year. And again, I think 7 is probably too many. Again, my ideal schedule would probably have 4 to 6. Now, if you guys want to see me do it, I did a video a while back. I think it was called something like my dream schedule. If you guys would like to see me do another version of that, now that we've won, I've gotten a lot more invested in this whole in the NASCAR sport. I've graduated high school since that video came out. So if you guys would like to see me rehash that video, possibly with some updated stuff, because there are some tracks like I don't think anyone expected things like the Chicago Street Course. I mean, I don't think anybody was ever imagining that was a possibility back 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I made that video. If you guys like to see me rehash that video, feel free to let me know. But yeah, I've heard the rumors about a 7th road course on the schedule, and I don't know. I would have to. The biggest thing I would want to know before adding another road course to the schedule is what oval is losing a date. Because I think there are some ovals that could lose a date, and I don't think you'd hear too many people complaining or crying about it. Like, Richmond's already lost one of its dates. I wouldn't want to see Richmond completely gone from the schedule if this other road course replaced, say, Spring Bristol, or at least took Bristol's other date. I mean, yeah, you'd have a lot of people upset because I think Bristol obviously Bristol still has a lot of fans, but I do think the racing quality of Bristol has not been up to snuff, and there's been a lot of rumors about Bristol losing their date, but I feel like a lot of that has been surrounding another potential oval joining the schedule. So here we go. But right now, here we go. Ty Gibbs putting a massive amount of pressure here onto Ryan Preece. And Ty Gibbs looking to the inside, looking for 7th. And Ty Gibbs makes the pass and gets by Ryan Preece. Massive amount of pressure there. Good job with Ty Gibbs, and good job on Ryan Preece for not making a mistake with the amount of pressure he had on him. And now he's got his boss right on his rear bumper here. He's got Brad Keselowski looking behind him. Reddick, the driver he's battling in the in-season tournament for, only one spot behind him as Brad Keselowski up the inside is going to take this spot. Now it's a head-to-head battle, 9th and 10th. Preece and Reddick for the spot. But yeah, that's... When it comes to the road courses, like if we had, say, one in early March, like where we've got Coda now, then one in like mid to late April, like right after the Easter race. Yeah, assuming that the Easter race continues to be a thing. Now I don't know what road course works, both temperature-wise and weather-wise, because I believe that's when around that time is the wet season. Although that's the wet season for a lot of places, and you can run road course in the wet. But I think having a road race in either early May or late April, I think that would be a good second one. Then you have your third one in June, possibly a fourth one. The fourth one in July. I think you can have one in June, one in July. Then you have Watkins Glen in August. That gets you 5 pretty well spread out, and then the 6th one being Charlotte in October. I think that's pretty well spread out for 6 road courses. Now, if you try and add a 7th, I think that's where it starts to get a little tight, and I'd have to really try and workshop it. But I'll probably put a poll out on either later tonight or early in the day tomorrow to know what you guys would like to see for a preferred video. And I might start doing that between Twitter and the YouTube community page. That way you guys can get a little bit of an input as to what video we end up coming out with. But yeah, so my dream schedule and my schedule prediction would be 2 probably different but similar enough ideas that I'll probably only end up doing one or the other. So, but yeah, again, we got 32 laps to go here in this one. Ryan Preece trying to hang on to this one. He's got Chastain now up behind him. Chastain was able to pass Reddick. He's now on the back bumper of Preece. Preece does not want to lose this spot, because if he loses this spot, Reddick is right there ready to pounce, and he might lose 2 spots and a shot at $1 million if Reddick goes by him. He'll say Preece fighting to try and stay a part of this $1 million challenge here. Gonna be insane. But yeah, I think anyone who says, oh, we need to have none or we need to have next to none, and here we go. Preece is making the gamble here. Ryan Preece hits his first. Is the first one to the green flag pit stop, and SVG overdrives a corner. That is a rarity to see. Shane Van Gisbergen overdrive a corner here. He overdrove turn 4, manages to avoid the wall, but barely. But yeah, anyone who says, oh, we need to go back down to 2, or oh, we need to get road course racing completely out of NASCAR, I think is barking up the wrong tree. Now, would I be sad to see Sonoma leave? I'd be upset for the California fans because this is now if we lost Sonoma for say Portland for the Portland International Raceway, sure, I think that would be a almost an acceptable trade at this point because I think the racing at Sonoma, while today it's actually been pretty good, and I think it's actually deserving of. I think it's showing why it's deserving of a spot. I think if you remove Sonoma, you have to figure out something else for the Pacific Northwest. And really, I think the only other track that I would consider Pacific Northwest would be Portland. And honestly, it's actually a lot better for your Western Canada fans. Shout out to my buddy Denny Rumble, who is from Western Canada. We used to league race together quite a bit. And I always felt bad for him, the fact that he did finally get down to his first NASCAR race for the championship at Phoenix a couple years back, but being in Western Canada, he had no races even remotely close to him. I mean, the closest one was Sonoma. So, yeah, that would be one of those things that, like, I would hate to see Sonoma go, but I've heard Sonoma's name mentioned as a road course, and I don't know if I was cutting it down to only 2, I don't know if Sonoma stays, but I think Sonoma does deserve to be part of the 4. If we have, say, a 4 to 6 road course season, or if we go up to 7, I think Sonoma ends up staying. Watkins Glen is an every year type of thing. You can't take that away from Watkins Glen. Then you've got the whole debate about Charlotte, which we'll get to. But here we go. Oh, somebody thinking about pit road. Chase Briscoe was looking like he was going to go, and here comes Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher going to make the dive to pit road here. But yeah, so that's going to be a topic probably during. I'm going to do at least one schedule video this year. I just don't know which one it'll be. But yeah, so again, we're currently at a side-by-side under the commercial break here. And let's see, again, right now, I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm Michael McDowell, I'm just staying out hoping for something to go our way here. We're entering that 30 laps, that 30-lap window. But right now, I just don't know what you do here. Because you can stay out, hope to catch the caution, but you were hoping to catch it before anybody else started coming to pit road. Now, by this point, with the fact that other drivers are pitting, I almost feel like McDowell has to just hope that he hears a caution flag before it happens and can jump to pit road. But the problem is, if you're not near pit road when the potential crash is occurring, there's not really any way to make that last minute jump to pit road. Here we go. Here comes Elliott down pit road. Chase Elliott coming down pit road. Chase Elliott enters pit road here. We got Brad Keselowski also jumping on pit road here. Ty Gibbs stays out for now. AJ Allmendinger going to jump to pit road. AJ Allmendinger jumps to pit road, please. I get it. Michael McDowell at this point, he's basically just going to be trying to throw a Hail Mary here to have a good finish. If he has it, if he's going to get there, he's either going to fuel save a ton, which if he is, he's been making a lot of passes for a guy who, in theory, should be fuel saving to the moon. And if he's not planning on fuel saving and he is going to make this other pit stop, I don't know when you make this pit stop to survive this one. But yeah, AJ Allmendinger, 2 great finishes. Unfortunately, not great enough to be a part of the final 8 in the in-season challenge thing. So again, SVG is dominating right now. He's up 5.5 seconds over Briscoe. I think Briscoe has legitimately been contemplating pit road. He does. Oh, yep, Briscoe does come to pit road. Briscoe comes to pit road here. Let's see. Does Byron? Hard to tell. We're just going to have to wait and see. It looks like Byron is no. Byron is not going to come to pit road. So Byron, Bell, Gibbs, Chastain, Larson, Hocevar, and McDowell all stay out here as we're working through this one. Looks like Stenhouse is going to be the other driver to jump to pit road here. Again, you need a really well-timed caution here for McDowell to have a shot at picking up the track position that he lost when he made that unscheduled pit stop earlier. Again, I'm assuming it was unscheduled. It very well could have been scheduled, but if so, I don't see the strategy move here. There could be a strategy call there, but I don't know what it is. Oop. That's just it from him. Okay, there we go. All right, so again, yeah, I don't know what the strategy is here. Here comes SVG to pit road. Shane Van Gisbergen coming to pit road here. 27 laps to go. 27 laps, and SVG is coming to pit road. And I say, at this point, does Byron... I think, yep, there we go. Byron comes to pit road. I think everybody basically has to follow. No, Bell stays out. Gibbs comes to pit road. So now it's up to Chastain. Does Chastain come or not? Chastain does not come to pit road. Does Larson? Larson does not come to pit road. So there we go. Christopher Bell assumes the lead. Ross Chastain to second. Larson to third. Hocevar is going to stay out for fourth. Fifth for Mike McDowell again. So McDowell is in the top 5 right now if he can manage to hang on here for this one. He is ahead of SVG for the minute. But again, that is only a matter of time before SVG probably passes Mike McDowell back. So it looks like SVG is only about 2 seconds behind Mike McDowell. Now, if we get another caution and Michael McDowell can time his pit stop pretty much perfectly, he can maybe have fresher tires to try and fight his way back through. But I think you need it to run long enough on these tires for a lot of the rest of the field to the point where everybody else starts thinking, yeah, I need to pit too. Because right now, I think you really only have about the top. I think you've got about 10 drivers who have yet to pit. I think everybody else has all come to pit road already. You got Bell now hitting pit road. You've got Chastain still out. You've got Larson, Hocevar, McDowell, Suarez, Cindric, Ty Dillon, Haley, Berry, Hamlin, and that's about it. Maybe Noah Gragson for inside the top 15 for drivers who have yet to pit. And here comes Chastain. Chastain comes to pit road. So Chastain hits pit road here. SVG will re-enter the top 5. And yeah, again, right now SVG is just in position to dominate, and I think we need a lucky caution if we don't want to see an SVG win, which, based on what I know from social media, I'm guessing most people are pretty tired of SVG dominating and winning, but hey, if you want him to not dominate, as I say, one of the other drivers should get better at it, so. Not like he's doing anything that the other drivers can't, and it's not like he has an advantage that we haven't seen other drivers have before. So, again, right now, SVG up to 4th here as Larson, Hocevar, McDowell are the front 3. Suarez, Cindric, Ty Dillon, Haley, and Berry, some of the other drivers who have yet to pit. Hamlin and Gragson. So, yeah, we've got about 10 drivers who have yet to pit. 10 drivers who are on 20-lap tires or more at this point. Again, Hamlin, Gragson. So we got McDowell and a couple of others who are all on 23-lap tires compared to the rest who are on 28-lap tires. But I still don't see a world in which you make it all the way from here to the checkers. I mean, that'd be a nearly 50-lap run on tires, which would be insane. Again, I don't really know what the strategy is outside of McDowell hoping that he catches a caution at the exact right time. Because you need to be on pit road when the caution comes out. That's like the only way you make this work. And even then, at this point, I'm not sure that because you've only got a 3-second buffer to Van Gisbergen. I mean, you probably still drop to about 15th but then you've got fresh tires. So let's see. Again, Michael McDowell still out here, 24 laps to go. I mean, I'm trying to run as many scenarios through my head as possible here. Suarez, Larson, Hocevar. I just don't know what scenario here. No, here comes Larson to pit road. Larson's going to bail, and he comes to pit road. Hocevar also having to bail. That's going to put McDowell to the lead. Michael McDowell to the lead. Assuming, yep, Michael McDowell stays on track. Okay, so Michael McDowell stays on track. It's a 2.5 second gap to SVG. So I do not know the strategy Michael McDowell is coming up with here to try and nurse this one home. Like, is the plan really just to fuel mileage your way all the way to the checkers here? Because if so, that is a bold strategy, and I'm not sure it pays off. 23 laps to go, though. Here comes Denny Hamlin, also came into the pit. So, again, a bunch of these drivers all cycling through pit road. I don't know if I trust it for Michael McDowell. I mean, I really want it to pay off for Michael McDowell, but right now, seems like a really rough spot here. All right, so there we go, and yep, they've got more more clips here of these two guys fighting it out here. All right, so there we go. Again, 23 laps to go. Michael McDowell still on track here. He's got SVG in the rear window. We're gonna have to wait and see. Any other drivers coming to pit road? Josh Berry. Josh Berry hits pit road. And that leaves, who does that leave on the racetrack? So we've got Michael McDowell, Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, Justin Haley. That's about it for drivers still inside the top 10 who have yet to pit. So we got 4 drivers on this strategy, and 4 drivers on this strategy. 4 drivers on this strategy, and I'm not sure it works out for any of them, unfortunately. I think this is going to be a really rough patch here for a lot of these drivers trying to figure something out. Again, 22 laps to go here. That is way too long for McDowell to hold off SVG on 20 lap pressure tires. SVG is going to take this lead now. Maybe McDowell can nurse it home a second or a third place finish if he's max fuel saving, but at this point, I think he's just hoping to catch a yellow at the exact right time. Now, if he can run 20 lap older tires out ahead of SVG and just manage the pace, kind of similar to what he did at Chicago last week, it could work. But man, I don't like this strategy for McDowell. Again, I don't know what prompted their earlier pit stop. I would have to say, if I know what that pit stop was for, I'd at least know, okay, was this intentional that they tried to pull this strategy, or is it just the fact that, well, this is how the strategy has played out to this point? We had an unplanned pit stop early on in that second stage, and now we got to try and figure something else out. But now here goes McDowell running wide. We give up the lead to SVG, and now it's his goal to try and either put a ton of pressure on SVG to try and make a mistake and keep close enough to him, or you go ahead and drop even further back by going max fuel save here and trying to make it to the end. But again, at this point, I think I would prefer I think if he gets a perfectly timed caution, this could fall right back into his lap, because the timing of a caution, I mean, a lot of these guys are already 10 laps on their tires. That's a lot of laps. So if you can catch, again, a perfectly timed caution here for McDowell, it would be incredible. But I don't know if we're going to see a perfectly timed caution. So, again, right now we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos and live streams. We got 50 people still hanging out in chat. But yeah, right now SVG has the lead, and McDowell is dropping quick here. So McDowell on 20 lap older tires. Shock and surprise, he's having trouble keeping up with SVG. But at this point, I think McDowell is just basically on a fuel save and pray that he catches a caution at the right time. If we don't get a caution, I think McDowell is basically dead in the water because he has to make an extra pit stop and nobody else really does. So there we go. Again, 20 laps to go here. Again, if you do catch this caution, you could get lucky enough to make something of it, but again, you'd have to be over near pit road before the caution flag comes out. Go. Alright, so again, 19 laps to go. 19 more times around here. And speaking of 19, the 19 car of Chase Briscoe passes Michael McDowell up into second place. SVG holding on to a commanding lead here of nearly 3 seconds ahead of Briscoe. So Briscoe is going to have to really work to try and run down SVG here. And again, Michael McDowell on 20 lap older tires doing an admirable job trying to hold these guys off, but he is ultimately going to fail here to the fresher tires. The question is, how far does he fall, and when does he make this final pit stop? So again, right now we're working our way through this one. McDowell coming off this corner, he's not going to get the dirt, and he stays on track. Mike McDowell going to stay on track, trying to hang on to this one. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here as we come back from this one again. SVG hanging on to this dominant lead. Mike McDowell doing everything in his power possible to hold up Chase Elliott as Chase Elliott looks to the inside, and he is going to take third place from him. So, as of right now, we got Shane Van Gisbergen and 2 chases in second and third. One could even say they're chasing him. Okay, I know that one was bad, but still. It was almost too perfect for me not to make a joke, so. Let's say. So yeah, Chris Buescher last year did beat SVG head to head right now. So if Buescher's able to stay in contention, maybe he could be the guy to take down SVG today. Alright, so 18 laps to go here. McDowell staying out. Chase Elliott was able to get around him. So now it's going to be Buescher trying to catch Michael McDowell here, about 5 seconds off the pace behind these guys. Again, if you end up having to make a green flag pit stop here down the tail end of the race, it is going to be a really rough time. If you're Michael McDowell, I think your only path here is that you have to hope and pray you get the right caution at the right time here, and you're going to need it soon because you are currently on 32 lap tires. 32 laps on those tires. Again, you've stretched it about as far as humanly possible here. I don't know how far the pit window is. I didn't see that during pre-race. Austin Cindric is also stayed out up to this point, and Daniel Suarez in 15th. But as of right now, Mike McDowell hanging on to a top 5 spot here if he does somehow fuel save the tires all the way to the checkers. I mean, that would be an insane stretch. But also would explain why he hadn't been going very fast. But again, right now, 17 laps to go. I mean, that would mean, again, he would be going nearly 50 laps on a set of tires, which is just unbelievable. SVG almost over 80 laps led on the day so far for Shane Van Gisbergen. Again, a very dominating day for SVG. And really, the only topic of conversation at this point is the fuel mileage, because the fuel mileage and the potential caution, because 2.3-second lead over Chase Briscoe, and I don't think Briscoe has it in him to run him down. Although Briscoe did take the fastest lap award away for a minute. Although actually Buescher now has the fastest lap. Sorry, I'm completely off. Sorry, no, I'm wrong again. It is, I think it might actually be Christopher Bell who has the best lap of the day. Let's take a look at lap times, actually. So we have had quite a few guys doing some good laps. Let's see. All right, let's see. So 94.2, 94.22, 94.25. 93s, 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 94.25 again. That one's close, but I think, yeah. Looks like, wait, no, Justin Haley at 22.78, 0.278, and what was Christopher Bell? Oh, we get a caution! Caution flag flies! Michael McDowell may have just been saved by a flat tire on the 51. The 51's tire comes completely off. The 51's tire comes completely off the car. Michael McDowell may have just been saved. Let's go. Michael McDowell may have just been saved by this one. Get to pit road. Please tell me Michael McDowell got to pit road there. Did Michael McDowell get to pit road before that caution came out? Because they waited a few minutes before throwing that one. Oh, if Michael McDowell got to that pit road, he is now going to have a lot of track position and almost a perfect storm for Michael McDowell. That is pretty close to perfect. All right, so Christopher Bell was, no, I think Christopher Bell is, again, we're looking for bigger number. Actually, I think Justin Haley might have it. Justin Haley at a 278 versus Christopher Bell being at a 257. Yeah. Justin Haley, I think, if I've done my math right, I think has the fastest lap. Yep, the wheel going off. Yeah, and the wheel nut just coming completely off there. So a loose wheel on the 51, and that is a perfectly timed caution. The perfect storm for Michael McDowell has happened. Michael McDowell desperately needed that caution flag right there. But yeah, tell me that McDowell actually did get to pit. Did McDowell not get to pit road before that one? Because if McDowell didn't get to pit road, then I have no idea why they didn't throw that one. All right, so there we go. All right, here we go. Pit road is open, and let's see who all's coming for fresh tires. Again, we've been on these tires for nearly 20 laps, and it's going to be Briscoe, no fakes, and it's going to be Chase Elliott, going to be one of the first ones to pit road. Michael McDowell, the second one, and leading a host of cars behind them. All right, well, there we go. Again, Chase Elliott coming to pit road. He leads them on to pit road. Gonna have 4 fresh tires. Come on, Michael McDowell's pit crew. Do not screw us up here. And Michael McDowell, please do not speed on pit road. You got the caution you needed here. A 67 race winless streak, and a big fire in Michael McDowell's pit box as he drives away. The fuel catching fire. Elliott gets out of there. Ty Gibbs gains gains 2 spots. Kozlowski and McDowell both lose 1 each. Yeah, Priest and Larson each gain 2 as Cindric loses 2 spots. So there we go, gaining a couple spots there. But man, I'm hyped. We've got a shot for Michael McDowell to win the race, and as you guys may or may not know, I am one of the biggest Michael McDowell fans on planet Earth. So let's go ahead and see this one. Let's see. Alright, so there we go. 13 laps to go. 13 more times around here. The question is, can McDowell or Elliott from 14th or 16th run their way through this field and make it to the top? Because they're only about 14 spots back. And as of right now though, Bubba Wallace 5 points above Ryan Priest for the final spot in the playoffs, but again, that is a very marginal one. No, it was Rick Ware. The Rick Ware racing car type. What's his name? Cody Ware. Got it. Yeah, Cody Ware lost the wheel. So for the second week in a row, NASCAR delays a caution for the 51 car late in the race because I assume they just didn't see it. I mean, that's 2 cautions that should have been immediate cautions for safety, if nothing else. Because I know last week during the broadcast, initially I was upset because I wanted to see one more restart between SVG, who had the superior car, and Reddick, who had superior tires. But upon further review, absolutely should have thrown it just because of the severity of the impact, regardless. And now here we go. They're talking with the. Talking with this crew, with the crew of the 88, Stephen Doran, the crew chief here. And we are going to be absolute. These last 13 laps are going to be absolute cinema down to the checkers here. Now 12 laps to go. 12 laps to go. It'll be 11. It'll be at least 11 when they take the green. Let's see. Again, we are chilling out here. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Man, let's look at this top 10 real quick for a second. We got Briscoe, we got Busher, we got Zane Smith out-dueling Ty Gibbs for the moment. We got Hocevar, we got Stenhouse, we got Josh Berry, we got Eric Jones in the top 10. Let's go. What an eclectic group for the top 10. I'm hoping that Michael McDowell on fresh tires can absolutely rocket his way through some of those guys, but yeah, Elliott, Ty Gibbs, and McDowell, the first 3 drivers on fresh tires, currently in 14th, 15th, and 16th, going to be on an absolute flyer trying to get through this field. Yeah. And there we go. Now they're talking with James Small and the 19 crew. But yeah, man, it's been an exciting race all race long. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as well. I've enjoyed this race, I think, a fair bit more than the other 2 road courses as of late. Mexico City was just an absolutely dominant day by SVG, and then Chicago, my guy was so good, and then the car broke on him, so I was very much deflated after that one. But, as of right now, though, we're getting lined up here. Hopefully we'll see him double it up next time. Okay, lights are off on the pace car, so we're about to see him double it up here. And at this point, you just have to try and take the furthest up you can go. So if you can get a row further forward, you take it. If you can get the inside line for the first corner without giving up a row, you take it. So just a game of even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. And here we go. Zane Smith on row 2 here. Or sorry, row 3. Row 3 for Zane Smith and Christopher Bell. Going to be lined up side by side. Going to try and go for it. Considering it's Bell's teammate that's in the fight against the 38. Does Christopher Bell just run the 38 wide into one of the corners, trying to mess him up? Here we go. Pace car's off. I guess we'll have to wait and see as we get ready to go. Green, green, green. Green flag is out. We are racing here. 12 laps to go. Now 11. 11 more laps to go here. And Briscoe and SVG head up the hill once again here. And Busher gets a little bit loose. To the inside goes Bell. Bell looking to the inside on Busher here. And Bell looking competitive, but Busher holding strong in that spot. So Busher hanging on very tough here. A very tight fought battle here, 6th through 8th, as we've got, 3 or 4 drivers who really need a good finish here. Zane Smith trying to advance in the in-season tournament. Hocevar looking for his first win. Jones looking for his first win in a long time. And there's the spin! Massive spin in the middle of the field. And somehow they all seem to have gotten out of it. We've got Noah Gregson involved. Not sure who else because there's a lot of smoke. And looks like no, we might. Yep, caution flag flies. Caution flag flies. I have no idea who was or wasn't involved in that one, but it was a short dash up the leaderboard here. SVG getting put in these uncomfortable situations here. Again, his tires are 16 laps old compared to the brand new ones on Elliott, Reddick, and the rest. So Elliott, Reddick, McDowell, the front 3 here of the drivers who are on fresh tires. Again, it looks like so it looks like Noah Gregson is going to get hooked up to the wrecker. Not sure if any other cars that were involved ended up stopping there, but there we go. The AMR safety team heading out there. Yep, turn 7 accident. Well, that one was an immediate caution at least, even though they probably could have waited a little bit longer to see if Briscoe could do anything into the hairpin, but oh no! Ryan Preece with a massive chunk of his race car coming off. Okay, here we go. Let's see the replay here, see what happened to Ryan Preece. So a bit of a stack up there right in front of Michael McDowell and Chase Elliott here as they all start weaving out of the line into turn 7. Elliott and McDowell on the outside edge. Okay, here we go. Skycam. That's the one we kind of need for this one. All right, so here we go. We got Noah Gregson up the inside. Gets kind of cut short by the 43. And then, the 60 car grabs the front end of his car as everybody kind of just scatters trying to avoid. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think Noah Gregson should have even shoved his nose in there. And sorry, that wasn't the 43. That was the 21 of Barry. So used to the 21 actually being the red and white car, but nope, that is a different sponsor on board there. And yeah, it just clips the 60 car, and that is going to be pretty big damage on the number 60 car, unfortunately, as we are going to be back under caution flag here. And let's see what's going to happen here. Yet another caution flag, and yet another instance where we have to ask the question, can SVG hold on over Chase Briscoe, Chris Busher, and others, all right behind him, all hungry for this one? And oh wow, I hadn't seen the damage on Gregson's car yet. Gregson was not making it back to pit road with that damage. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so 10 laps to go. Pit road's open. Nobody's going to come down because either you came down last caution or you're not coming down at all because you're not going to forfeit. So other drivers who got glancing blows in this one: Larson, Barry, Wallace, and Jones. Obviously, Gregson and Priest, the two drivers most impacted by this one. And then they're going to go ahead and send out put out the speedy dry to try and dry up the potential oil where the oil or radiator fluid from where the 4 car was dragged himself to get out of the way. And that is another caution flag here. 9 laps to go, and we are just getting closer and closer to the end of this one. We got 60 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to spend a portion of your very valuable Sunday afternoon here with us as we are getting ready for this one. Should be an exciting race ahead of us. And again, right now, I'm curious if NASCAR is going to black flag the 60 and make them come in and take that piece of metal off that's hanging, because NASCAR would be within their right to do that, but man, would that be disappointing. Oh, here comes Blaney. Blaney coming down pit road. So Ryan Blaney heads down pit road. So, okay, Blaney was off the lead lap at this point. So Blaney's the free pass. So Blaney will get the free pass. He'll get his fuel, his tires, and he'll try and make a run from the back. So it's Elliott, Reddick, and McDowell. 11th through 13th are the guys on the freshest tires here. But now they all have a heat cycle on them and even less laps to get something done here. And that is going to hurt Priest in the overall finishing standings here. Kyle Busch, 38 laps, or 38 points out. Allmendinger's 56 points out. It's not going to be an easy day for either of those guys trying to make this one count down the stretch. And, let's see. Now that we're getting close to the end of this one, I definitely made the right choice with my benching, but I am still in 7th place. Man, somebody else must have had a near perfect lineup. Yep, first, second, third, first, second, fourth, sixth, and 15th for their 5 drivers. That is actually a really good one. All right, so again, right now we're just chilling out here. I'm guessing I've got most of the bottom wrong, then, is why I'm so far back in points. Let's see. Yeah, so I had Ty Gibbs beating Zane Smith, not currently happening. I do have Reddick over Priest, which looks to be locked in pretty safe. Bowman and Ty Dillon are battling it out, and right now Eric Jones is on the wrong side of his battle with Nemechek, although they're only 2 spots apart. They're probably going to restart nose to tail, so that one's close enough that could change. Ty Gibbs is on fresh rubber behind Zane Smith, who's on older tires. So I think I could come out with a perfect prediction for the bracket battle this week, which, hey, I will take what I can get for a perfect bracket battle here. Because it certainly didn't happen with my initial bracket that I put together at the beginning of this one. In fact, let's see. Do I still have that bracket in a spot where I can pull it up here? Oh, no, that is not what I was trying to do. Nope, that's some different thumbnail. Alright, looks like the answer is no, I don't. Let's see if we can pull up my original bracket and just laugh. But again, note that this happened before the big pileup in Atlanta that busted everybody's bracket, so yeah, here we go. Yeah, I had Bell as my champion, and he got bumped out. So we'll go ahead and throw this up here and talk about this for a minute, because this was, again, my original bracket for the tournament. I had Kyle Busch, who got knocked out by Brad Keselowski in round 1. I had Daniel Suarez advancing over Bubba Wallace, and I had him being able to advance over Joey Logano because I thought Logano would survive. Logano got taken out in the big one. Bowman managed to survive that one. I had Elliott making a pretty deep run in this one. ultimately Elliott got knocked out here. In fact, I think I went. Oh, did I go over? Let's see. For my championship 8. No, I had 2 right. I had I had 1 right. I had Reddick was my only driver I had making it to this race, and I had him losing out to Byron in this one. So here we go. So that is my bracket. If you guys want to go laugh at me, and nope, that is the wrong one. I need to bring up that. But yeah, so again, yeah, that was my bracket. But yeah, clearly got absolutely annihilated with the initial shock run there of the in that first run. And here we go. Van Gisbergen and Briscoe, Busher, Bell, Byron Hocevar, Barry and Zane Smith, Stenhouse and Haley, the top 10. Michael McDowell is starting right behind Chase Elliott in 13th position in row number 7. Hopefully, Michael McDowell can find a way to try and make some of these spots up quick, but it is going to be a run in a hurry here. SVG. We got Briscoe out in front of the field as we get ready to go ahead and line this one up. All right, SVG climbing ahead, a little bit ahead of the 19 as we go green flags out, and here we go, down into turn 1. Yeah, say Briscoe, he's been so close all day long trying to hang on to the outside of SVG. He does it through turn 2. He manages to make it through turn 2 side by side up into turn 3. Through 3, heading back towards turn number 4. SVG able to clear Briscoe, but only by a little bit. Here comes Bell and Busher into 3rd and 4th. 3rd and 4th, we got ourselves a really good battle here as we're working our way through this one. Again, McDowell just stuck in traffic right now. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a rough one for him, but here we go. Oh! Stenhouse off course a little bit as the 47 of Reddick, and oh, there goes Stenhouse! Stenhouse around. Caution flag flies as the tire barrier is messed up. Caution flag flies, 7 laps to go. And that is another caution flag late, shuffling this one up even more than before here. Oh, what position is Ryan Blaney? Give me a second because he's gonna be near the back because he just got the free pass under the previous caution. Spot 33. He's in spot 33 right now. We'll probably drop to 30. He'll probably gain a spot to 32nd when Stenhouse comes back around to pit after the spin that he just had. So he'll be 32nd on this next restart. He did just receive the free pass under the previous caution. So that's where Ryan Blaney has been. Unfortunate for Blaney that he's been stuck. He had been stuck a lap down. I don't know. He must have been a really poorly timed pit stop when it came to the caution for the Cody Ware tire incident. But yeah, there we go. Stenhouse off the nose of Ty Gibbs. Internet, have your fun deciding where the blame belongs there, because everybody loves to hate the Joe Gibbs drivers, especially Ty Gibbs. But people also love blaming stuff on Stenhouse. I would have to take a bit to figure out exactly where the blame falls on this one. I haven't watched all these replays as they've been showing them, but yeah, again, say that is a massive wreck though for a driver who had largely kept his car in one piece. So here we go, on board. Yeah, I mean, I think Ty Gibbs, for the most part, it looks like he holds his line, and it looks like it was the 47 kind of. Actually, I think it was on Reddick. I think Tyler Reddick shoved the 47 back towards the outside line, and Reddick didn't realize that Ty Gibbs was already there and just spun the 47 out. So it's not either of their two faults. I gave people 2 suspects, and apparently I gave the 2 wrong suspects because apparently it was Tyler Reddick. Would have guessed that one wrong. So there we go. Again, because it was a tire barrier involved, they did throw a caution pretty quickly and are sending the crew out there to go ahead and reset the tires, make sure everything is still safe, just in case in the final 5 laps, we have another driver spin and hit that. Michael McDowell is inside the top 10. Let's go. After what I thought was an ill-advised pit stop, they get a near perfectly timed caution flag for Michael McDowell, and we now have a shot to win this race. Let's go. I'm so excited. Let's go. Come on. Now we just need to figure out a way to go ahead and gain 9 spots. Hey, NASCAR, can you find something technically wrong with the front 8 drivers? Front 8 or 9 drivers. I think we can pass Barry, maybe Elliott on our way through the field, but yeah, we need SVG, Briscoe, Bell, some of those guys taken care of in an inspection because we are not going to be able to get to them on track. Ty Dillon is currently 1 spot ahead of Bowman on track as they are racing for one of those 4 spots in the $1 Million Challenge. For the chaos, I want to see Ty Dillon make it. Yeah, but I did pick Bowman to do it. And then we've got another one, nose to tail, where it's Jones versus Nemechek, and I have Jones advancing here. I think whichever one, it'll be a fun battle to watch those guys go, and it looks like Nemechek's front end has had a mess of a day. Then we got Zane Smith still holding on to a spot ahead of Ty Gibbs, which as long as Ty Gibbs didn't get a lot of damage in that instant just now, he should have a good car. The question is whether or not it'll be good enough to make up enough spots to catch Zane Smith with all these caution flags coming out. But, yeah, man. It's like we got ourselves a bunch of really good battles. I think the 60 versus the 45 is basically the only battle I think is decided at this point. Again, the 60 of Ryan Preece having that incident in that last caution. And in fact, he's only in 16th place. Reddick's in 11th. But they're both on fresh tires, so I don't really see Preece being able to run Reddick back down while they're both on even tires, so. Alright, here we go. Again, we've got 5 laps to go. It'll be 4 to go here when they cross the line. And they have still not doubled up, so it looks like we will be going green with 3 laps to go or less. So it'll be either 3 or 2 laps to go when we go green. Which is going to be an insane... actually, no, I guess we could go with 4. I guess because of the fact that it's a road course, we have the shortened caution. So we've got the shortened time. Oh boy, Cindric's tire. Did Cindric not pit for tires at some point? They have Cindric in the red zone on the tires here. Cindric. Austin Spindrick. No, he pit for tires very recently, so I don't know why they have him in the red. Maybe they had him in the red from before, but here we go. SVG Briscoe, front row. Bell Busher, row 2. Host of our Byron, row 3. Elliott, all the way up to row 4 with Zane Smith. Barry and Michael McDowell, row 5. Let's go, Michael McDowell. Let's go, McDowell. As we are getting lined up, ready to go racing here, as we head down into this final hairpin corner. SVG versus Briscoe. This has been the battle all afternoon long. Briscoe has tried on multiple restarts to hang close, and now let's see if he's figured out the right recipe here to beat SVG. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's been the dominator all day. Led 93 out of 110 laps total, assuming we go the distance here. And here we go. Lined up, ready to go racing. Field in the hands of SVG. Green flag is out. We are back to racing here with SVG versus Chase Briscoe. Briscoe up the inside. SVG, though, with the sweeping around the outside and preferential lane here at the top of the hill. SVG versus Briscoe. They hang on through turn 2. They are still side by side for position. Yeah, SVG able to clear into turn 3 as they head up the hill through turn 3A and 3B. Heading down towards turn 4. SVG has a sizable lead here. 4 laps to go. And here comes Michael McDowell on the outside trying to make something happen, and a car goes around back into the field, spins out the 12 of Blaney. The 12 of Blaney gets spun out. The 5 of Kyle Larson is damaged. And that is a lot of damage here. We're going to have to wait and see. They are waiting on the caution. No, some debris back up there in turn 4. But right now, 4 laps to go. It will be 3 to go at the line. Michael McDowell up to 8th place as of right now. SVG holding on. And yeah, okay, so John Hunter Nemechek spun the 5 out. The 5's rear end clipped the 12 of Blaney. That is a very unfortunate set of circumstances there, as everybody's kind of getting all shuffled up here. We are going to be 3 laps to go. 3 more times around here. I don't know about the damage here, but right now we got Reddick side by side with Carson Hocevar dueling it out here for... Oh, and Carson Hocevar gets KO'd by Josh Berry up and off course. No contact with the wall, though. But man, Hocevar just got wiped out by the 21 of Berry. What on earth is happening? Up the inside of Bell goes Elliott. Elliott up into 4th place, up to 3rd with that pass on Christopher Bell. Here comes Michael McDowell. Up into the top 5 goes Bell. And yeah, let's see another replay here. And yeah, Berry just, for whatever reason, wipes out Carson Hocevar here. 3 laps to go. No caution flags have been thrown. And we have got ourselves an insane final 3-lap run here to the checkers. Hocevar got spun. We now have Van Gisbergen, Briscoe, Elliott, Bell, McDowell. This top 5 is insane. Let's go, Michael McDowell. Can we get it? 2 laps is a long time around here, but SVG has the lead. And barring a caution flag, I think SVG will be able to bring it home here. But Michael McDowell having an amazing run, especially after the ill-advised strategy call, or at least my ill-advised strategy call earlier, when I said I probably would have done it differently here. No! Chase Elliott ends up off course, giving a spot back to Christopher Bell. And I say he gets back on track ahead of Michael McDowell, though, and now we've got Elliott versus Bell once again down into turn number 4 here to the back bumper. Elliott all over the back bumper of Bell, heading towards turn 7, looking up the inside. He's going to dive it in there. Bell hangs it wide and just slides right in behind him. My guess is that maybe there might be a bump coming into turn 9. Into the final corner here, but I'm starting to think Bell might just not have a whole lot left in that car here. Come on, Christopher Bell, if you don't have anything, get out of the way of McDowell so that McDowell can go up there and challenge Chase Elliott for a top 3. I want a podium. Here we go. Here comes Michael McDowell up the inside on Bell. Michael McDowell clearing Bell through the middle of the corner. 1 lap to go. Shane Van Gisbergen in command of the field here. 96 laps led on the day so far. Can he lead lap 97? If he can lead this 97th lap of the day, SVG will be a back-to-back winner and a 3-time road course winner this year here in the NASCAR Cup Series, and he might legit have a fighting chance in the first round of the playoffs. Michael McDowell up into 4th place, though. Can McDowell take 3rd away from Elliott? The battle is going to be tough here down the back half of this lap. The final lap, the white flag has waved. No caution flag from here. If there is a caution, it would end the day. But right now, SVG 1.3 seconds out and ahead here. And Bell continuing to tank spots here as Tyler Reddick getting side-by-side for position here. Bell hangs on to the spot here. We've got Gibbs. Gibbs has managed to get up into the top 10 here. He has cleared Zane Smith for his battle. So we know Reddick, we know Gibbs. Those two will be facing off in Dover next week. But here we go, down through the final set of corners. For the last time around this track for the year, Shane Van Gisbergen. Is he going to be a back-to-back winner? A back-to-back and 3 times this year. Shane Van Gisbergen pumping the fist out the window. Shane Van Gisbergen, a road course winner again here in Sonoma, California. Briscoe 2nd. Elliott hangs on for 3rd. Michael McDowell 4th. No, just shy of a podium finish. And then Christopher Bell coming home in the 5th position. 6th will be Reddick. 7th is going to be where we find Ty Gibbs. 8th is where we find William Byron. 9th, Joey Logano with a top 10 finish here. And Kyle Busch with a top 10 run as well. Great days for all those drivers, as we have just had an incredible finish to this race. thank you guys for everybody that joined in. If you guys are just joining in for the race finish, that is going to be the end of the race. But as per usual, we will go through the full finishing order. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the race stream. I am going to go ahead and clip the finish of that. But yeah, as I say, 97 laps led for the guy who drove car 97. All right, so let me just go ahead and clip that real quick, because that will probably end up being a short there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, hey, SVG, he was the best car all day. He definitely deserved the win. But yeah, there were definitely more exciting ways that could have played out. But the way I see it, some of these the NASCAR guys just got to figure out how to drive these road courses better than SVG. I mean, it's an amazing job to have won 4 road course races, 3 of them this year, and now he actually does stand a fighting shot in the first round of the playoffs, which is going to be interesting here down the stretch. But let's go ahead and go through the rest of the finishing order as we usually do here. If I can get one to not keep refreshing on me every 5 seconds, or just bring me to the results page that we haven't seen in like 3 weeks. So, again, we went through the top 10 already. We'll start with 11th place. Brad Keselowski coming home 11th. Good job for him. Ryan Preece, a valiant effort in 12th, is going to end up coming up just short of the next round of the $1 million challenge. Josh Berry punts Carson Hocevar late in this one, comes home 13th. 14th for Daniel Suarez, and rounding out your top 15 will be Justin Haley. Chris Buescher coming home in the 16th position. 17th for Ty Dillon is enough. Ty Dillon is going to the next round of the $1 million challenge. Ty Dillon may be $1 million winner by the end of this one. 17th spot for Ty Dillon. Let's go. 18th is going to be AJ Allmendinger. 19th is where we find his opponent. Only 2 spots shy of Ty Dillon, but Alex Bowman will not be your $1 million winner this year. And Denny Hamlin rounding out your top 20 finishers. Austin Dillon in 21st. 22nd for Cole Custer. 23rd for Todd Gilliland. Ross Chastain comes home 24th. 25th is Riley Herbst. 26th, we got Bubba Wallace. 27th is Zane Smith. Not enough, unfortunately, to win the day over the youngster Ty Gibbs. And John Hunter Nemechek edges out his teammate. 28th and 29th, John Hunter Nemechek will advance to the next round of the in-season tournament over Eric Jones by literally 1 position. All they needed was 1 spot, and we could add a different spot there. Austin Cindric 30th, 31st for Catherine Legg. Not a bad, kind of a very quiet day. Carson Hocevar got punted right near the very end. 32nd for Carson Hocevar. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. comes home in the 33rd position. Cody Ware comes home 34th. 35th for Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney ends up 36th, 4 laps down after the contact with Kyle Larson ended his day. And then Noah Gragson, 11 laps shy of the checkered flag in dead last, driving car number 4. So there we go. SVG goes and punts that one into the grandstand. So Blaney got taken out in the late race contact with Kyle Larson, and there was no other caution flag, so he ends up finishing 4 laps behind the race in 36th. So massive congratulations again to Shane. Yep, again, SVG, he was brought in for a reason, and 3 straight road course wins from the pole position. He has had an incredible road course season, and very well could stand at least a chance in the first round of the playoffs. I don't know if he'll have enough to get through round 2, but honestly, with the way he was looking earlier on in this day, I didn't know if he was earlier on this season. I didn't know if he was going to be enough to get through round 1, especially because he looked mortal at Coda. That was the weird thing. He seemed to look somewhat mortal at Coda. He came home like 7th or 8th, and people were asking like, okay, if he doesn't pick it up at the road courses through the summer months, do you start talking about whether or not he earned his spot? But I think, especially if they keep the win in your in part of the format, which is certainly an argument to be had at a later date as to whether or not Win and You're In needs to stay. As long as Win and You're In is here, I think SVG has absolutely proven that he belongs in this sport. And he is making these yes, he is absolutely dominating these road course races. He, I think, overall is going to elevate the standard of what road course racing is going to be going forward here. So we got Ty Dillon versus John Hunter Nemechek and Reddick versus Gibbs for the fourth round at Dover next weekend for the in-season tournament. Again, thank you guys all for watching. This is where I'm going to end off the stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. And again, we will be there'll probably be a poll either tonight or tomorrow as to which schedule video you guys want to see this year. Either my perfect or my dream schedule, something along the lines of that, or my prediction for what a realistic schedule could be. And the points update, Bubba Wallace 3 points ahead of Ryan Preece for that final spot inside the playoff cut line. Tyler Reddick 149 points above, barring some real surprise winners down the stretch. He is very safe. Busher and Bowman, those two, if we get 2 additional surprise winners at, say, Watkins Glen and Daytona, would be in a little bit of a bubble. And then Bubba Wallace, Ryan Preece, those two are praying for no new winners, and they each need the downfall of the other. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys didn't enjoy this live stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys need to see you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. I will try and have probably one of those, whichever schedule video probably comes out, I will probably try and have that done either this week or next. I'm going to try and have at least one midweek video going forward. But the next time we will be live should be Friday night around 7 p.m. for the start of the heat races up at the local dirt track, Unity Raceway in Unity, Maine. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Live stream, whatever you guys had to do with the rest of the night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!